From the beginning of time, games have brought us together. Players and spectators. By the handful, the hundreds, and the thousands. We built stadiums. Places to gather around every kind of spectacle. Glory, tragedy, pageantry, community, rivalry, and wonder. Until every city, town, and village had a place where anyone could play.
Welcome back, guys. This is Arnaldo, a.k.a. Mad Dog, and this is The Real, episode 152 of GG's The Mouthful Podcast.
GG!
Thank you so much, sir.
How
are
everybody?
you today?
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody.
That voice, of course, is Mr. Dream Twister, a.k.a. David Santos. What is up, sir?
I'm sorry. I have pizza, and I have Coke, and then I have
you had
a
a
pizza,
nap,
and I had a nap. And I am super
yes.
hyper. What's up? What's up? What's up?
All the energy just came back now.
Yes, exactly.
Nice. Good stuff.
I'm trying to, actually, if we're speaking truthfully, I am trying to overcompensate for my lack of energy today. As you arrived, you saw that I was napping.
Yes.
As soon as I came from work, I saw my wife was like dead tired because she's been studying like the whole day. And I saw her, she was napping, and I just sat down next to her, and bro, it was like the Sandman came in and
just sprinkled on.
Yes. And the next thing I know, it was almost time for you to arrive, and I was like, shit, I haven't ordered, I haven't done. No cook, cook hasn't been done, and pizza, which was gonna be the other option, was not ordered. So, of course, we're starting this late because of me.
That's all right, sir. That's all right. I don't mind. We do have a jam-packed episode, I believe. I think this will be a rather jam-packed episode.
We have some interesting things to talk about.
We
Yeah,
definitely do.
Can't wait to get to that.
Absolutely, guys. If this is your first time listening, please go to goodgame.tech. Join the conversation there. It takes you right to our Facebook group. Also, if you're listening to this on any of the podcast services or YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. What we normally do is first we start with what we have been up to, move on into various news items, and finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's hot topic is our streaming future.
Our streaming future.
Yes.
I feel like we had this before, but we needed to.
It was more of a, hey, can this happen? How close are we from it? Evidently, we're pretty close.
Now it's more like, oh shit, this is happening.
It's like right there.
Brace yourselves.
Yeah, it's right there. So
as I take a sip of my 5-hour energy right here.
Oh, it's a shame because alcohol is definitely a downer, my friend. Not an upper at all.
Done? Oh no, this is so bad. It's good.
All right, well, you go ahead and do that. I will start the show. We're going to start with what we have been up to, and I will go ahead and go first while you enjoy your.
While I wake up.
Yeah, sure. While you wake up,
he's gonna start talking about what he did this week. I'm sure that's gonna help.
That's rough. Well, I will start with a game that I played. I finally jumped into Tokyo. No, not Tokyo.
Tokyo Drift.
Hong Kong Massacre.
Yeah.
Completely different part of the world.
Holy
China
crap.
versus Japan.
Yeah.
But yes, Hong Kong Massacre.
That's that is the what's the game? Hotline Miami.
Yeah, Hotline Miami.
Meets,
it's I don't know, Gung Fu or what is it? What is the name of that?
John Woo.
John Woo. Thank you. John
John
Woo
Woo
type films.
Yeah.
So it's basically very similar to the layout of Hotline Miami. In a sense, it's top down. You're entering rooms, you're clearing it out, one shot and you're dead.
Yeah.
It's that quick. Let's start with what I didn't care too much for.
Okay.
Make this
Let's get this out of the way.
So the cutscenes are atrocious. Okay, they appear to be your standard 3D CG type cutscenes, but they are so pixelated. It's just like this looks like it was 360 or 720 and then stretched out into and I'm like, why is it looking like this?
Are you sure it's not a style choice?
I thought so too, but I was like, and to be fair, what's happening is it looks like it's raining outside, stuff like that, but it doesn't clear up at any point. So I'm just like, oof, this is a bad choice. I'm not sure what they were going for here.
It's like they super compressed these videos.
Yeah. And then they stretch it out to
kind of
or super compress it. Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like PlayStation, original PlayStation era cutscenes.
Cutscenes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, you know what? That's exactly PlayStation 1 cutscenes, yes.
Wow.
And unfortunately, it's obviously not part of the game anyway. But I mean, in the sense that it doesn't matter. The cutscenes are not what you're here for anyway. When it gets into actual action, it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
You basically there's a little bit difference with Hotline Miami. Hotline Miami, you had the masks that you would put on and kind of grant you a different power boost or something. Sometimes the doors will kill people if you break through a door and it hits somebody. Dogs can't hear you. That's actually the best. The dogs not being able to hear you, or they don't attack. But here, it's different. You actually have a loadout, and it's not like a total loadout. You select a pistol, a shotgun, a rifle, or a submachine gun. You know what I mean? And so you select which one you want to start. It doesn't matter. You're gonna last long with it anyway because you're gonna basically pick up somebody else's.
Yeah.
But it's just a starting point. And what you're able to do is as you go through the levels, it gives you like ratings and you earn stars, and the stars you can use to upgrade these weapons. So as you even if you're picking up somebody else's shotgun, like for instance, you start with a shotgun, it can only hold up to 5 shells, right? Okay. You upgrade it to the next one, it holds up to 8. So the shotguns that you even pick in the level are all maxed out at 8. So it's just little things like that. Okay. It does have slow motion, a little bit of a bullet time, which is pretty cool.
It wouldn't be one of those.
It wouldn't be a John Woo film or a game if it wasn't like that. But no, it is a lot of fun. It is hard as balls. Let me tell you. I don't know how long the game is, but I'm a good 7 or 8 stages in, and I'm on one stage, dude. I'm just like, son of a. It's a wide stage. You know what I mean? So does
it at least let you start fast enough to where it doesn't feel like a
it's
long...
not as fast as Hotline Miami.
Okay.
Hotline Miami literally blinks. The moment you die, you hit start, boom, you're started at the beginning. Mm-hmm. It is also very crude 8-bit graphics.
True,
This it's not. It doesn't take long, but it is significant. It's a little bit longer than a blink essentially. Yeah. So, but it's not bad. It's not bad. Now loading into it, that's a little annoying because again with Hotline Miami, you're flipping through stuff quick.
Right.
When you're first loading to the next stage, it takes a little bit to load to the next. Not too long, but there is a significant load. That said, I'm enjoying it. Very cool. I don't really know the story. I think I'm a cop. A rogue cop, yes, as usual. Yes. For all these.
You're avenging someone.
I'm sure I am.
Partner
yes, I'm sure I am.
Brutally murdered.
I think so. I haven't got to the brutally murdered part yet.
Oh, okay,
but we're getting there. It is a lot. It is a lot of fun. It's so cool to run into a room and just light people up, and you shoot stuff, and it'll like if you're in a room with desks and stuff, papers go, you know what I mean? And it's just, and it happens fast because they're coming at you the same, you know what I mean? It just feels like a John Woo action film, just top down, And I'm like, this is pretty cool. Freaking special. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I'm going to ever get back to it now. The Sekiro's out, but
that was it.
Yeah,
it was a good.
I have
one-nighter.
Yeah, and I do enjoy it. I do want to go back to it, but obviously my attention will be elsewhere for the foreseeable future. I did see a bunch of Netflix content, original content, and the only reason I'm bringing up some of this stuff
like one a day almost.
The sort of, yeah. The first one I wanted to bring up was I did see Mowgli, which is Netflix's version of the Jungle Book. And it was pretty cool. I didn't know it was supposed to be so. I don't want to say it's adult because it's not adult, but so
I heard it's a little bit of a darker take on the whole Jungle Book.
Correct.
And it was interesting because Jungle Book, that movie came up in 2016. I want to say
I can look it up.
Or probably 2017.
Sure. Recently.
And then it was recently. And then we had this one, and I'm like, well, it's not only telling the same story. Oh, I don't know. It did take some liberties on it, but it's Jungle Book's obviously the Disney version, the Disney 5 version. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This one, not so much. I didn't know how much they were gonna change it, being that it was, it was still live action, but it still had the CGI, the CGI animals.
Yeah, it did have that. This had the same thing. The characters. I was a little bit shocked to find out that a lot of the characters were voiced by a lot of like mainstay actors. I mean, Christian Bale, what's his name? Benedict Cumberbatch. A bunch of people. Kate Blanchett, excuse me. So I was like, man, I can't believe so much. That's actually what probably put me to watch it. I was like, well, shit, if all these people are in it, why would I not watch it? It's got to be good.
And that's a Netflix exclusive. I could have sworn that was actually a movie that was coming out to theaters.
That's not to say it didn't come out there. Like, for instance, Roma is a Netflix exclusive, but it was in the theaters for a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. So they must have had a showing or something, because I do remember seeing the trailers of this. And,
on regular TV?
No, I think it was when I actually went to see a movie.
Oh,
might have been.
Okay.
That's why I started like, this looks like I've seen this before already.
Yeah. Oh, the director is Andy Serkis, which we all know him as Caesar. He actually played Caesar in all the Planet of the Apes movies. So yeah, I actually enjoyed it. I just literally thought of a scene, and now I'm wondering, like, yeah, that's probably why it's not for kids. I'm thinking of us because we were talking about it. I was talking about it with your wife, and I was like, I get it. It's rated PG-13. I was like, but I'm thinking of the movie, and I'm going, there really isn't anything there that I would say is not for kids. Not that it's not for kids, but rather that a kid can't watch.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now that I think about it, yes, there's maybe a couple scenes. If it's young kids, definitely. Probably.
Yeah, they could be. Yeah, it's obviously it's not gonna be. I mean, it is PG-13
for a reason. Yeah.
But for a reason, yeah. But I've heard that too, and the reason I want to watch it because I really enjoyed the Jungle Book.
Yeah.
And this thing sounded interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can. I've seen the Jungle Book as well, and I'm not sure if I can say this one is better. It's definitely different. It definitely feels more authentic in the sense that you can tell that you are in a jungle out in, Indonesia or India or something like that. There's a village nearby, and it looks and feels like a village would look and feel like. So yeah, I think that's
undisneyfied.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. You know what? Perfectly said.
Yeah,
the un-Disney version of what the story should be. You know what I mean? And so no, I enjoyed it, and it gets on Netflix. Definitely, I can recommend that. The kid did pretty well too. The one who played Mowgli.
I saw him too. Yeah, I was like, okay, this is like. Although I couldn't tell if it was a boy or a girl.
Yes, that is a weird. Yes, there's some points I'm like, dude, butch this up a little bit, man. It's because I was like, you can't even tell. I'm like, then I start questioning: is Mowgli supposed to be a girl? Maybe it's supposed to be a girl. I don't know, but no, yeah. So poor
Pat.
kid, yeah, poor kid probably got picked on. I take that back. So yeah, the next movie I saw was Wheelman, which again, it's a Netflix original film.
I heard you mention about that. What is Wheelman?
Wheelman is regarding a driver. So kind of like, when you have someone who's robbing something, you have the driver, right? So this is
on a heist,
the wheelman. The wheelman.
The wheelman.
So this is essentially
that reminds me. That reminds me of Grand Theft Auto 5, actually, where you select the
wheelman.
Well, you have to if you will do a heist, on a mission, and you will have to recruit. You're recruiting people, kind of basically the top kind of like a heist movie, right? Yeah. You recruit people, but you got to make sure that the people that you're recruiting,
fit the bill.
Fit the bill, and but also you can't go to specialists because the more high end they are, the more they're gonna want of your cut.
Of course.
So
makes sense, yeah.
in some things, like for example, in my case, I picked out. Okay, so I need a hacker because I need this has to be good because I need to be able to turn out the security system, and then I need this. I forget what the other thing is, but one of the slots to fill is a wheelman. And then that one, I was like, he's just gonna drive the car. I'm not gonna give him that much money because I'll probably be in control. It's a car. Dude, it fucking ruined the mission because he will
wheelman
crash.
Is important, my friend.
He will crash. He will make it hard for me to shoot, and on top of that, money will get out of the car because he was a horrible wheelman. Because I skimped on the wheelman, which is the most important. One of the most important.
It is.
elements.
Yes, you have to have somebody who can handle this.
It's the escape.
Yeah,
and there were people on motorcycles also that I also picked out. Not so great, And
motorcycles?
On this particular mission,
okay, got you.
They had the car, and they had motorcycles also. There was someone, and they were not that great riders, and they will get, they will get
caught or killed.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, they have an accident or something, and there goes a big chunk of your percentage.
Oh man!
So
this is what happens, sir. Don't skimp on the skills.
No,
skill positions are
no.
important.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, yes. So the wheelman is played by actor Frank Grillo. You will remember him from. I remember him mostly from Winter Soldier. He was the. Oh man, I'm gonna show you his picture because then you'll recognize him probably from that movie. He was basically he was the one who was part of Captain America's team.
Yes.
And he led the betrayal in that elevator.
That's
the
true.
elevator
Yes,
scene.
exactly.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he plays the getaway driver, and so basically it starts off. The camera and everything seems to always be in the car.
Uh-huh.
It will focus if he's driving. As there's two people in the front, it will go to the back, but it's always in the car. When he gets out of the car, it rarely actually follows him. All you do is see him like you're sitting in the back seat. So
funny.
you see what he's doing from outside, and he comes back. It's an interesting looking way of looking at a film or looking at this type of film, and I really enjoyed it, especially since it was literally due an hour. I want to say it's an hour and 22 minutes.
Oh, it's a short movie.
Which I think 4 minutes of that was credits, so probably less than that.
Oh wow!
You know what I mean? But it was really good. It was not nerve wracking, but it kept you a little bit on the edge of your seat because obviously he's in the middle of a thing. He gets basically something happens, and the original heist is not what the original heist ends up being, and shit hits the fan. You know what I mean? So, and he is pissed off half the time, but his acting is great because basically the movie is going to live and die with him because he's the one in the car the whole time. So he calls people, and it's the way he emotes and everything. And I was like, yes, this feels like a real dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of expect that he will have to carry the whole film.
He would, yes, and he does.
You don't go. It's not like you can say, oh, it took place in this area, and the cinematography on this area, was amazing, and then
nope,
no, it was none of that.
It's none of that
on the car.
Yeah, and
phone book style.
Yes, actually, it was exactly what I was telling my wife. I was like, this is kind of like phone. Remember, we were watching it from the phone, him in the phone booth, pretty much the whole film. But no, this is. Right in the car, and it's very cool. Like I said, short movie and enjoyable. Definitely recommended.
What do you call Die Hard? What are those type of movies where it takes place just in one place? And it's obviously a larger area.
Yeah, it is large.
It
takes place in a building.
There you go. The Nakatomi building.
The Nakatomi Plaza.
The Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah, but then it's also in the parking lot of the plaza. So I guess and a little bit in the street.
Yeah,
and then once at his wife's house.
All right, so he doesn't fit the
I don't know. Yeah.
He extended it a little bit too much.
A little bit in the plane in the beginning before he lands. I don't know, sir. I don't know if I can agree with that statement.
Yeah, no.
The next one I saw actually just got released this week, and I was actually looking forward to watching it. It's called Triple Frontier, and this has again another awesome cast. You know what I mean? It has
well, they do have the money to
that they do. Yes, it has Ben Affleck, which, like it or not, I mean, I think when he's not playing Batman, I think he does pretty well. If he's not playing Batman or Daredevil, he's fine.
He's a fine actor.
Exactly. Oscar Isaac, you know him as Poe from the Star Wars film. Charlie Hunnam, I don't know if you remember him by name, but Charlie Hunnam, he was in
I see him. Yeah,
Pacific Rim.
Yes,
and I think that's all the ones that probably going to recognize the top of your head. But basically, what they are is they are a team of ex-special forces. Like they used to work for the military. Now they're back home trying to live through life. You know what I mean? Try to do what you can do. And obviously the skill that they have isn't very marketable in the real world. You know what I mean? Oscar Isaac's character still sort of works with third world country governments to bring out cartels and stuff like that. So he still uses his skill. He enlists these guys, his ex-teammates, to help him. The original plan is to essentially figure out a way to eliminate this one cartel dude in, I want to say it's Brazil or Colombia. Excuse me. And that's the plan. Unfortunately, somewhere they start making the choice to say, okay, instead of, if we do this, we'll get a small cut of what they because they're going to seize the money and kill the guy. That's what the government wants. However, if we do it, we don't have to cut. We don't have to cut. It's not a cut of anything. Whatever we get is ours, and all we have to do is kill this one cartel dude. Which who the hell cares about it, right? You know what I mean? So.
I think I've seen this trailer.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. And unfortunately, as with all things, shit does not go as well as you want them to.
I'm not 100% sure on if this was a trailer, but I remember a trailer that I saw it and I was like, man, that reminds me of Battlefield Bad Company.
Bad Company.
And they should make a Battlefield Bad Company movie.
You've been talking about Bad Company forever.
It's the best Battlefield, and the one that EA has been sitting on forever.
Okay, do you really want them to do it now? They're going to screw it up. So
they have no choice. They have to. This E3 is not Battlefield Bad Company is back. They're done.
Then
EA
I would vote
done.
that they're done. Yeah, I would just vote that they're done.
There's nothing that they could do on it. But please continue telling me about the Three Kings.
No.
I mean,
the Three Kings, yes. No, it's pretty good. Obviously, I don't want to go into detail on that because there are some little twists and turns. But the acting is good. There's action. It's not action packed. Like when you watch the trailer, it may mislead you to think, oh, this is an action film. Like, no, it includes action, but it's meant to have more aspects to it. And it's actually really well done. The ending, it maybe doesn't stick the landing, and it's not that it's bad. It's just like, I don't know if I believe that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but
aliens.
Yeah.
I spoiled.
No, God, no. No.
It was all a dream.
Oh, that's
no globe,
man. Who does they do? I don't think they do that anymore. Do they?
Oh, they do. It's the world's worst trope.
Oh my God,
TV trope.
That is the worst. Right now. I know Lost did that. Spoilers.
Lost did that. Jesus.
Spoilers for Lost, guys. Yes, there's alien.
There's alien. Yes, sure.
Just throw them off.
Every time there's a series like that it seems to be cool, and then they bring the paranormal, like, oh yeah, it was aliens or something like that. Yeah. It's a turn off completely.
It is,
unless you know from the get go.
Exactly.
That's what's gonna happen.
Exactly. Unless you know that's going to be, that's the asset. You're watching an alien film. Okay, then obviously it makes sense.
At some point you're gonna be like, hey, where's the alien?
Where the fuck is the alien?
Yeah, exactly.
And lastly, I finished watching I guess we can call it a series, Love, Death, and Robots, also on Netflix.
I saw the trailer for this one.
Yes.
Tell me about Love, Sex, and Robots, please.
It should be called Love, Sex, and Robots, or it could just literally be called Love, Nudity, and Robots, because it's not always. That's not always the problem.
Would I be ashamed to watch this with my wife?
How do I start this? So I started watching it, right? And my wife was there. I'm like, I'm not keep anything secret from her. So I'm like, yeah, we'll watch this.
First of all, to clarify, what type of movie this is?
This is a series.
Uh-huh.
It is a 18 chapter anthology.
Uh-huh.
That it's basically like, if anyone's ever seen The Animatrix.
Yes.
Or what's that old movie? I can't think of the old movie, but
Kill Bill.
No. It's an old animated thing. So essentially, it's a collection of short stories, 18 short stories, and they range from 6 minutes to 17 minutes. None of them are long. Some of them, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted more. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is a good one. So anyway, what it has to do with is a little bit Black Mirror, in the sense that technology and how it changes and improves, and sometimes does not.
At
you
the
know
cost
what I mean?
of something, yeah.
At the cost of something.
I think we're gonna have a topic of the week talking about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Later on.
Yeah,
Later on.
Foreboding.
Foreboding,
So,
that's the word.
no, but some of them are way more comedic. You know what I mean? It's just meant to be silly. It almost looks like it would be a Pixar, Sony animation, whatever. However, even they push the limits of certain things. You know, you're like, okay, these characters don't even, their body shape doesn't even match the shape of a person.
Yeah.
Was there a need to see nudity in this? You know, it's like, what is the point of this? You know, so this is a series that's developed by Tim Miller and David Fincher. And you would know David Fincher from the Social Network. He's the director of the Social Network. Yeah.
Oh,
he's done a bunch of shit, but I know you would know that one.
Oh yeah, okay, yes, I'm down.
So they are also, honestly, they are all good.
Right.
Okay. Some are some left me like, man, I would watch. Just turn on and watch it again. Others were okay. Like I don't have to see that one again. You know what I mean? Now the animation.
Other word. What is this hentai?
There is a little bit of that. there is one that's literally like 15 minutes long, and it spends a good 5 minutes on just a sex scene. It's just like, what are we doing here? You're wasting time. Why are we watching this? You know? And then of course my wife's like, what is this? What is this porn you have on? I'm like, honey, this is Netflix. They can't put porn on Netflix. Right? I think so. Right. Yeah. Last time I checked, they don't. Now I'm starting to question. There's a couple of them that maybe push the line a little bit, in the sense that there are characters who are, you know, running around like someone's being chased, and she was at a strip bar, you know, and she was the stripper performing the show, and something happened. She ended up running off, and she has what is a what do you call that? Not about that. No. A robe.
A robe.
She has a robe, and for whatever reason, doesn't feel the need to, you know, tie it up before you're running. And I'm like, you're literally just running around the streets naked. And now I'm watching.
I mean, she's running for her life, probably.
Yeah,
but that's the reason why she's running, not because she left this. She realized she left the iron on.
Sure, but I think at some point you feel the need to, you know what I mean? I'm just saying.
I've actually run that scenario in my head as a possibility. You know, if something like that were to happen, will I get the time to start getting decent, or would I just book it butt naked?
True, but you okay? Alive. But she wasn't. But like I said, she had a robe on.
Better naked and alive than dressed dead.
I don't know.
That's not a saying.
I was gonna say,
I just made it up.
I don't recall that ever in the history books.
Wait, should be very sound. It's sound advice.
I guess.
Run naked or die dressed. They're going to dress you when you die anyway.
Needless to say, it was a little bit ridiculous. I was like, okay. And again, the focus, it's like, okay, who's directing this? is what's his name from? I can't think of his name now. Damn it! I wanted to use him as a joke, but anyway, the director with the explosions and the
the Transformers guy.
Yeah.
Fuck! Why can't we remember names? We're getting so old.
We are getting old. Oh my god! I want to remember him right now.
No, we're gonna. Yes,
yeah.
The internet is gonna help us remember. Yes. You guys are screaming
the internet.
You guys are screaming the name.
And of course,
Tom Clancy.
It would not be immediately Michael Bay.
Michael fucking Bay.
Oh my god! So there are moments of like, okay, and this is animation, so clearly you have us looking here for a reason, you know. So anyway, that all said, like I said, there are some that are so well done that I recognize the actor who is being motion captured. I'm like, whoa, I know that person. You know what I mean? There are some that just look like, man, this is the type of I want to see a full CG movie with looking like this, with this action and the special effects and everything, because obviously they can do so much more with that, you know. Yeah. And others, I mean, there's a lot of them that I'm like, man, this reminds me of Kingsglaive. That type of really like, woo, this looks serious.
Kingsglaive,
Final Fantasy
15 one. Yeah, that animation was like
top notch.
Whoa, I did not expect it to be this level of good.
Correct. Me either. There's actually some here I'm going, I can't tell if I'm watching, like it's a scenery. Like the person's not on there, but he's walking in the far end. Yeah. But the world around them, I'm like, I can't tell if this is a picture or actually animated because this is ridiculous. Yeah.
Wow.
That said, I think it's pretty cool. Nowhere near for kids, guys.
No.
Not even, there's not one that is for kids, okay? None of the 18.
It's in the name.
Yes.
It's...
yes. Love, death, and robots.
Death and robots. He has love, and he has death.
Yes.
And some robots.
And yes, and the occasional robot.
All right.
And so that, my friend, is all I've been doing.
That's actually very movie packed. I am interested in a few of them. I'm gonna have to put them on my list.
Okay.
I am kind of surprised also at the level of content that we're seeing that we get from Netflix.
From Netflix. Oh yeah.
It's like I almost I would say it fully justifies what we pay for it and for the content that we get.
I got a message when I went to log in yesterday, one of the times that I logged in this week, and it says as of next month it's going up $2.
Right.
And I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
If you guys can deliver this type of content,
this is still technically cheaper than HBO.
Yes.
Like if I were to go HBO Go, it's still cheaper, even with the $2.
And more content.
And more content.
And a lot more content. Yeah. Yes. Oh my God. So that is awesome. I'm going to start with a movie just to get it out of the way because I did watch something. Speaking of heist, I watched for the first time Ocean's 8.
Oh, Ocean's 8.
Not the Ocean's 12.
Wait, you've seen the other ones, all right?
I seen Ocean's 11.
Not 12 or 13.
Don't recall. Was there 13?
Yeah.
Yes,
there was.
13. I want to say that I watched Ocean's 12 also because there's a lot of like this movie makes some references to some things, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of remember, but I can't remember like what happens on it. And this type of movies, you can enjoy them, but I don't feel like they don't stick with me. I will watch them, I will enjoy them, but I wouldn't like remember or care to rewatch them again.
I would definitely agree with you with Ocean's 8.
With Ocean's 8, absolutely.
Ocean's 11, 12. I really do jig. I've watched them several times.
I really like Ocean 11. Yeah, Ocean 12. I just don't remember what it was. But then again, you know what? That's it's the same thing. I could watch a movie that is amazing, but if I only seen it once, I probably won't be able to recall a lot of the things. So it's not a measure of how good it was or anything like that.
No, I got you. Yeah.
So
it's just been a while. Yeah,
it's just been a while. Exactly. This one in particular, though, it was not great. But I cannot say that I was not entertained and I was not amused. It was.
I can agree with that.
Yeah. This one has, it has Sandra Bullock.
Yes.
Playing which, by the way, was this ever established?
No.
She was
the sister. No.
The sister
of Danny Ocean.
Danny Ocean.
This is the Nathan Drake's brother situation. Yes. Where it's like never mentioned there was a brother, even when he was a kid.
Yeah.
And here he has a brother.
And suddenly,
same thing.
So this is Sandra Bullock, Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett,
yeah. Which we were talking about.
She voiced, for the record, in Mowgli, she voiced Ka, the snake.
Well, there you go. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
It has Sandra Paulson, Rihanna.
which was I'm watching it because it has Rihanna. I remember somebody saying that.
I remember, yes. And I am glad that I did, actually. Even though this is not her performance or the best showing or anything like that, because she's playing a hacker. She gets to be a hacker. And to hear her talk the way she talks with some of the things, it's like, man, this is so badly casted. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You could have passed better as Danny Ocean's sister. And he has, and of course, Anne Hathaway.
Yes,
gorgeous Anne Hathaway. What is there to say, man? It's a bad movie. All right, it's not a good movie. I
wouldn't go as far as to say it's a bad movie.
It would, but it's
definitely
It has there is in this movie, everything. I'm not gonna super spoil it, but I'm gonna spoil it enough to say everything turns out exactly as planned. Nothing goes wrong. There is absolutely no point in the movie where you go, oh my God, oh, of course this was going to happen. Oh, of course there's going to be a betrayal here or something like that. It has none of those interesting things that Ocean 11 would have. Exactly. Everything here not only went according to plan, but somehow it went better than planned. As is to say, well, we can do this better. It was kind of dumb, and also the usage of the a lot of technobabble technology that is like, dude, that doesn't exist. Dude, this is ridiculous. Dude, that wouldn't work like that. Like you could tell the spirit was totally not there. Now, that said, I will not say this was the Ghostbusters remake version of the Ocean movies.
Yeah,
because it wasn't that level of bad.
No,
it wasn't the Ghostbusters 2016 level bad. Not. I don't think anything could be.
I don't think so either.
No. This was still entertaining. It was still kind of amusing, in some things. But like I said, there's no stakes whatsoever. Everything just works perfectly, and usually on heist movies, you could kind of expect, okay, so at the end, if it's gonna be, if it's gonna go towards that ending, of course the heist needs to work. But you kind of expect like, okay, something went very wrong, and it's interesting to see how they adapt or how they adapt change or evolve to the situation. Exactly. You don't get to see none of that because again, everything goes perfect. So yeah, that was unfortunate, and unfortunately, it was the only movie that I saw this week.
I think my issue with that movie was I don't think the plan was completely told at first or at some point, which. Realistically, in movies, the one thing you never want to see in a movie is the exposition dump, right? Because that's like, okay, so you're just telling me everything in one fell swoop. What?
Yeah.
But when it comes to a heist movie, I would argue that you kind of have to know because you want to know what the plan is. If you are literally with the crew, at some point they're going to talk about the plan, right?
Yeah.
So we need to know what it is, and I don't think it was fully.
It was not explained.
Yeah, explained, and so I think. At some point you go, and I think with old heist films, the reason they do that is because you should know what the plan is. So when shit goes off rails, you're like, oh shit, that's not what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But if you don't know the plan, then you don't know when shit goes off rails. And when shit works out, you're like, well, okay, so this was just an exercise in perfectness.
Yeah.
Do
you get to the planning, and it consisted of a lot of variables that just happened to go out their way. Like for example, with the boss boy that was gonna end up being at the exact same spot. Like, how could you tell that was gonna happen? And a lot of things like that it just depended on variables that there's no way. Even if she was planning it for 5 years or however much time. In jail.
Yeah.
There was no way that you could have foreseen, because our things that are like really out of control. Oh, this person is going to be standing at this spot at this exact time, the camera's going to have a blind spot, which is going to take 12 days to mask. It's like, wait, what? I can literally do that in a matter of seconds on one of my cameras. What would it take? So it's trying to throw the audience as if they're not gonna know. They're not gonna know. So yeah, not to harp too much on it because, like I said, at the end it's still an entertaining one, but in no way is gonna compare to.
No, I think 11, it's a different. If I'm not mistaken, director, and 13 was not. It was the weakest of the three.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can.
I would need to watch it. I would need to watch it because
Yeah.
You know what? It reminds me of. It reminds me of Man, when and this is me because again, this is how I feel like now I'm a little bit more tuned with the movies as they come out and stuff like that. And it's a lot in part because of the podcast. But there was one time where I was telling Naldo actually how much I enjoyed what's it, The Dark Knight?
The Dark Knight.
I had just watched The Dark Knight without realizing at all that The Dark Knight Rises not only had released already, but it was already like in Amazon Prime.
Yes.
I could watch it. Like the moment I learned after watching The Dark Knight that there was another Dark, I was like, "What? You mean I could see another one of these?"
I was literally in shock at his surprise. I was like, "What do you mean you don't know
I did not
that
know.
The Dark Knight Rises was a film that came out?
I did
How
not.
do you not know this?"
I did not watch any of the Batmans when they came out in movie theaters. Any of the Dark Knight movies. When they came out in the movie theaters, I hadn't watched. I started the Marvel saga.
At Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3 was my first one. So I had already missed, a bunch of them. So it's stuff like that. And we don't have to go into like all the classic movies that I have not seen.
Because then I'm just going to get frustrated. Gilberto's listening. He's going to get frustrated.
Yeah.
Maybe even Giovanni. I don't know if he watches movie, but he'll get frustrated anyway.
He's going to mention
just to be
Pulp
frustrated.
Fiction at some point.
Yeah.
And people are going to be yelling out. And guys, relax. I like movies, but they're not my main source of entertainment.
Yeah,
and
it's fair.
It's still it's too passive.
They are yes, but they are what are considered required watching.
Yeah, I don't know. I understand that. I understand that. Look. I have my nerd card suspended a while back, and I haven't been able to get it from the Nerd MV. I haven't been able to get it back because serious violations of the nerd cred
Of
code.
nerddom. Yep.
Yeah. Yes. So, but it just goes to show. But I have been playing some games. I told you last week I was in the honeymoon phase with Devil May Cry 5. And that game is still great. I haven't touched it in like 3 or 4 days because for some reason the Division 2 came out and I haven't been able to stop playing it. And I am wondering myself why. And not in the sense that why am I liking this game is so bad. No, I'm actually surprised of how refined it ended up coming, like right around the time of release.
Of launch, yeah.
It has the content, to back it up. People already talking about the end game and it's obviously I'm not anywhere there. My characters, I think I'm level 17 right now. But the people that have already reached level 30 because they're playing like Madman are really enjoyed the content of the gameplay, like of the end game. Mm-hmm. You don't hear a lot of people complaining, on that front.
I think Ubisoft learned is what it is. They actually, as opposed to the others,
looking at the beta,
they freaking learned.
Looking at the betas, it didn't feel like I was concerned. And you remember I was saying like, oh man. This is
but we can't judge a beta like we or an alpha like we did with the first Destiny. True. We're like, whoa, dude, this is on point. And then the final product was. We also can't go the other way and go, oh, this looks like
true.
It's not official until it's official.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. This had a beta that had me very disappointed because I was looking forward to it because I did at the end when Division 1 got fixed. I did enjoy where it was going. The problem was that I had nobody else to play. Mm-hmm. On this one, at least, when I'm playing on my own solo, it's engaging enough. Don't get me wrong. I don't know what the story is. It's complete nonsense. This game has no story. Let's put it this way.
Wow.
It's supposed. Yes, I guess they try to pretend that it has one. It really doesn't, because you don't care. This is just a matter, a series of missions, that you do in the order that the main campaign You do it, of course, in the order that is handed to you, but it doesn't feel like it has. It hasn't reached any point where it gets interesting, where it gets like the bad guy, for example, or something happens that is that you want to go after him, or something. It doesn't give you. That's not the motivation. Like, story is completely, dude. Story's dead.
Yeah,
it might as well be Destiny 1.
Wow,
really. I'll be honest with you. So the fact that I can't even cling to that, and I'm using just pure gameplay alone to justify the hours that I spent playing on it, it's a testament to the gameplay portion. They have it packed down. They have it there. This is the world of DC. It feels very vast, very diverse. Even though you think it's DC, it's a city.
Yeah, it's a city.
It's not like you're going to different planets. It's the same city. What do you mean by diverse? No, it actually somehow it manages to feel to make the areas feel unique enough. Say for example, if you're one of the early battles have you going into this TV station, and dude, that stage was not only the design of it was really cool, as far as the areas that you have to go, but also the design of it, also with the monitors, everywhere, it looked really badass. It looked really cool. It was like somebody took care of it, crafted. This was not just let's make an office space and put a desk and computers and monitors and stuff like that. It was not that. Somebody crafted the interior of what is meant to be what was once a TV station or a newsroom, and they took care of meticulously, craft, kind of like the think about the police station in Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil, yeah. 2, yeah.
You see each area has a reason,
has a look and feel,
has a reason to be there. It's sort of like that, yeah. There's another one that takes place on a what seems to be like a secret weapon, a chemical lab, and you see the robots, the little robot arms, working the things, and the whole layout is again it's not a boxy place. You just have just have some content placed on it. What do you call that? Assets. It's not that. It is they're crafting those areas.
Areas are handcrafted.
The world outside, it looks beautiful in its detrimental way that it is, because obviously the tragedy that it happened. There's such a great opportunity in this game to tell a magnificent story, but because Ubisoft is so fucking chicken shit and so afraid of offending any groups at all, they can, like this. The same thing happened with Far Cry 5. It gives you what it seems to be an awesome setting where they could have they could have some amazing commentary, some amazing storytelling, but they just drop the ball and they give you this super bland, like going nowhere, like who cares kind of story, kind of like to fill a checkbox, like the story doesn't matter. So and so it is the total opposite of the amazing world that they're building. I'm having fun running around, just walking around the area, collecting loot like I didn't think I was gonna be. Creating the character customization is decent enough, and everything else is there. It's just a shame that it doesn't the story doesn't carry it, But I'll continue playing. I'm thinking at some point I might be like I with this type of games. I'm never the dude that just go grind all the way to 30. It keeps on going. Like yes, I might finish the campaign on it because I intend to, because I am having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
And might as well. And to the point where I'm even putting like Sekiro came out, and Division 2 already interrupted Devil May Cry as much as Devil May Cry was being amazing and all that. I don't want the same thing to happen with Division, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna probably beat the campaign, but once I'm done, I'll probably be done for a while. I'll probably go back every now and then to check in, but
the content.
Yeah. I had a great time playing with Armando. Was there. I played with Danielle.
Daniel.
Daniel. I played with Panda.
Nice.
And
shout out to all those guys.
Yeah. The guys are awesome, and we had, it was one of those things where, yes, when you're in the group and where everybody's doing this stuff, I understand the appeal of this game. I understand why people go back to these types of game and they have fun, because boy, there were 2 days straight that I went to bed very late, play. My wife was not very happy with it. That's why Ocean 8 happened yesterday, because at some point I was like, okay, I need to take a break. But yeah, man, who would have thought, Division 2 landing it? And I'm trying to think I did something else, but I think that's it. I think it was just Division 2, which I'm just having the realization, and it's scary.
That's a good thing.
Nothing else.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. It's a great game.
Awesome. Welcome back, guys, and it is time for Trailer of the Week. Trailer of the Week, guys, is a difficult one.
Yeah,
I can tell you that much.
I was surprised that we were going to have competition for what we obviously thought was going to be the Trailer of the Week, and but at the end of the day, there could only be one.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it to you to choose, because I think my choice is going to be
obvious?
extremely biased.
It's really biased?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I feel like we have to kind of tell what
the movies are, okay, or the trailers are.
The trailers, yeah.
The first one was John Wick 3, the newest trailer for John Wick 3, which we've already seen a couple. To be fair, I get it. Parabellum, yes. The second one was what looks to be a thriller called Ma, M-A, which looks really good.
It looks really good.
It stars a Academy Award winning actress. I can't remember her name, but if she's listening, she can forgive me. And then the third one was one of my most anticipated movies of this year. However, the trailer was more of a teaser. And that is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes. and I thought the trailer was great because it was a teaser.
Because it was a teaser, okay.
Yeah, because I don't want to remember. I kind of don't want to see the whole thing. So.
Like, unfortunately, John Wick does kind of spoil maybe something small. Maybe you won't notice it. I noticed it immediately. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Yeah.
But hey, it is what it is. And then, of course, the last one, which is my pick, is Stranger Things 3, guys.
What?
Stranger Things.
That's your pick?
That's my pick. Yes.
Really?
That's okay. It doesn't have to be the Mouthful's pick.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Stranger Things, it's great. Don't get me wrong. I get it. But I thought that this was in contention because of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and John Wick.
That would have been my second one. Once Upon a Time.
Yes, so not even John Wick is not here?
We've seen John. I mean, I already know. This is literally the third trailer we've seen in John Wick.
So have we given it to John Wick before?
Oh, I'm sure we have.
Okay, then in that case, then why we were putting it here, man? You're making me look bad and stuff. Okay, so we're disqualifying John Wick because he has already participated and won.
Yeah.
And if he hasn't and we're mistaken, then apologies. It should deserve Trailer of the Week because, I mean, come on, let's be real. It is John Wick 3. But in that case, I will hands down give it to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is the winner.
Fantastic. That is our Trailer of the Week. See, this was actually this was not what we anticipated it
No,
was going to
it's
be.
not,
Neither
no.
one of us thought that it was going to be this one.
Yes, we had other ones in mind.
'Cause you
But
have to
no,
go-
yeah, it's definitely a cool little teaser.
Yeah.
It is Quentin Tarantino's latest film, ninth film in all, and stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, some guy who looks ridiculously like Bruce Lee.
like Bruce Lee.
I'm like, holy
Bro.
crap! It's like they raised him from the dead.
Yes.
I don't know how they do this. Yeah,
Yes.
so looks and sounds
I mean,
Bruce Lee.
if
Yeah.
this guy is CGI Bruce Lee, then...
I am shocked that he's CGI, but
and not only that, you just heard Bruce Lee,
Yeah.
on a new movie. You just heard it. Why would this not be our first pick? Like, come on, get real. I mean, Leonardo, John Wick. I appreciate what Johnny Mnemonic is doing.
yeah. Oh, and of course, there's references to the Matrix.
Yes.
Which are. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. Like I thought it's like, okay, yeah, but then the entire scene has this green hue, and I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? We already have Morpheus in the movie.
Yeah,
You know, like
exactly.
what's going on? Where's Trinity? That's what I have to ask.
Hey, it could still happen.
Yeah, it's
this
possible.
show,
Yeah, that's possible.
She was, but let's go with that.
All right. So yeah, our trailer of the week, guys, is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So moving on, we're going to go to the Mouthful's fresh pick. I'm just going to quickly go through some of the major releases this week.
There's only one.
The Messenger
What?
comes to PlayStation 4.
Oh,
Yes.
That was not in the PlayStation 4? That's right.
No,
You
it
played
was
on PC, right?
Yeah, I played on PC and it'll Switch. PC and Switch,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Nice,
so
finally.
I will be double dipping on that particular one. Yeah, because
Didn't you beat it?
No, I was pretty far into
You
it.
just freaking beat it.
Whatever. Let me double dip. You do it all the time.
That's
What the
fine.
hell?
That's
Yeah.
fine. I'm not,
Come on, man.
but I'm usually doing it because of an upgrade, not because
it is an upgrade. It's on PlayStation 4 now.
How is that an upgrade?
Because it's not on my damn PC. That's why. I swear we have this argument every week.
Every week, I know.
Oh
my
man.
God.
I know you guys love it. Turok comes to the Switch.
What?
Yes, Turok.
Which?
It just says Turok. Bring up Turok Switch.
Yes,
So we'll
please.
we'll
Let
see
me-
what it looks
yeah,
like.
let me see what-
I'm pretty sure it's going to be the more because it was Turok Dinosaur Hunter was the full name of the first one, right?
Turok
Switch. There it goes. Yeah.
Which is the first one.
This is holy crap! It is the first one.
It is the
Is it
first
really?
one?
Yeah, it looks like it. Oh,
What?
age
Yeah, it's
verification.
Come on, Nintendo.
Yeah,
One.
Nintendo is all about the kids, guys.
1900.
It's like I'm not even gonna give you my birthday.
Yeah.
It is the original one. Look
It
at
is-
that, dude.
Oh wait, why?
Well, it was on Nintendo before. Remember, it was rare.
right.
Yeah.
It was.
It
Yeah,
was on the Nintendo 64.
So they are releasing the same game. I mean, we can't even call it a remake because the
No.
graphic looks.
I mean,
just like
it
you
has been
imagine.
enhanced a bit, but it's enhanced in the sense that it's probably
And it is $20. Like, who's gonna dip into this? This should have been $5.
I mean-
oh no, man, no,
yeah,
Nintendo.
yeah. Sorry,
Let-
Nintendo.
let's be real.
I can't back that up
No.
either. Now that I look at it, like,
It looks just like a Nintendo 64 title.
Yeah.
It looks, yeah.
SNK 40th Anniversary Collection comes to PlayStation 4. Symmetry comes to the Switch. Cubicity, a slide puzzle, comes to PC and Mac. Hell Warders comes to the Xbox One. Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon, everybody, comes to PlayStation 4 and Switch.
I
That's
thought it was
literally the name, yes. Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon, everybody. That's great. I love that name. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's fun to say.
It is. Assault on Metaltron comes to Switch. We the Revolution comes to PC. Azure Sage Pathfinder comes to Switch. Attack Noise comes to PC. Grand Prix Story comes to Switch. There's a lot of Switch games coming out, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Rogue Bit comes to Switch. Reptilian Rebellion comes to Switch. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC.
Oh yeah.
Unravel 2 comes to Switch. Stories The Path of Destinies come to... That's a horrible name. Stories, The Path of Destinies.
Okay. Wow. Well, it's no better than Sekiro, shadows die twice.
I don't like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah. I'll just take Sekiro.
Yeah.
Or Shushimi, like you say.
Shakira.
Shakira, yes. Mini Golf Maker comes to PC. Bunny Parking comes to PC.
Parking.
Sushi Time comes to Switch.
There you go.
And Gladiator's Ludus Manager comes to... What the fuck is that? Jesus Christ. I think it's pretty obvious that our fresh pick is clearly Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon. Everybody,
yeah, of course.
I think that's the...
It is the funnest thing to say. So
It really is.
That's our pick. And we're sticking to it.
Show us a video of that one, sir. Bring it. Just to be fair, though, let me realistically say Sekiro is my pick. I don't know about you, but of that whole list,
what's it called again?
It's Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon.
Chocobo
everybody,
Mystery Dungeon. Oh, but it doesn't say everybody.
Everybody.
All right.
Trailer. Yeah. All right. Let's see what this. Oh, that does not look. There's alcohol reference in this.
Yeah. Let's see this.
You may want to mute that. I don't want us to get blocked by Nintendo.
We're not getting blocked by Nintendo. Okay, this way is
it's a racer. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, definitely not the hot pick.
I don't know what that is. Yeah.
Not a fresh pick, guys.
No. I take it back. Yeah, this looks like Super Bomberman /
Chocobo Racing.
Actually, Chocobo Racing. Yeah, it's not Super Bomberman. It's it has that view though. I don't know what this is, bro.
Yeah, I don't
this
know
looks terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty harsh.
I mean, it looks. It could be interesting. It could be fun, but no.
Yeah,
We're
I agree.
with Shakira Die Twice.
Shakira dies twice. Pobre Shakira.
Yeah. Everybody.
Everybody. All right, guys, let's go into some news items. I'm going to start with... I don't know. Let's just start with some Xbox Game Pass news. Go. Game Pass is adding 6 more games to its March lineup, and they're pretty cool. Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, The Walking Dead Michonne, What Remains of Edith Finch, Vampire, or Vampire, depending on who you ask. I can't read these. What the hell is that? Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Oh, wow. They're adding that one.
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe they had that. And then the last one is called... What is...
Crackdown 3. Because
I'm trying to look at the box art here. Crackdown 3. I'm sure it's already on Game Pass.
Yeah, I think so.
Can you see what that is? Operanda?
Let me see. Operella?
Yeah, it doesn't matter, guys.
Who cares?
Yes,
It's Xbox.
it is,
So... That was a joke. That was a joke.
Yes.
It's some game that we have never heard of.
We never heard of. They're filling in a 6th title with it. So.
Yeah, exactly. And who knows? It might be the best thing ever.
It's definitely not better than What Remains of Edith Finch. Just saying.
Speaking of the best thing ever, BioWare's GM, what's the GM? Game Master?
General Manager?
There you go. Thank you. BioWare's general manager admits Anthem had a rougher launch than expected. No shit. The quote.
By the way, guys, whoever had the over on us mentioning Anthem in this podcast, you have won.
Yes. Actually, you notice I did not mention a single instance of Anthem when I was talking about the Division.
Yes.
Except that the Anthem story is probably better than the Division 2. We can't emphasize enough how much we appreciate you staying with us. That's the quote. BioWare's general manager Casey Hudson admits that Anthem had a rougher launch than expected. Though he was excited for the next stage of the game. The part where it becomes fun. In a frank blog post, Hudson says, "It's been a wild ride this last few weeks. On one hand, it's been a rougher launch than expected, but then I think back. We also knew that the big new online games tend to hit some kind of problem once they go live. So as much as we tested and prepared to make sure everything was ready, we we were also ready for the possibility that unexpected issues might arise at launch, and we continue to be committed to responding to them. Well, Mr. Hudson, there's a game called Division 2 came out. You should check out their plan because it went a little bit smoother than yours. Not perfect. In no way we can perfect, but
nothing's gonna be perfect.
It was much better. As far as the launch was, I mean, Hudson acknowledges that Anthem had a degree of issues that did not reveal themselves until we were operating on a scale of millions of players. But claims in the first few weeks following release, BioWare delivered over 200 improvements to the game through patches and live updates across stability and loot progression. I'm going to stop right there to address this part also. He says, a degree of issues that did not reveal themselves until we were operating at the scale of millions of players. Sir, Mr. Hudson, you are going to tell me, I'm going to address Mr. Hudson here with all due respect. You are going to tell me you guys did not notice the excessiveness of your loading times, the difficulties and the rubber banding issues that arise from, when you were playing. Did you guys QA this game, or did we did that for you?
You guys did that for it, and you paid to do it. For the record,
and we paid to do it exactly. See, this is the part where.
So the question is, did you get what you paid for?
Dude. No. In February, let's see, hold on. Let me go back. It says, this is all in learning. This is all a learning experience for us. And as we work to make sure the game is improved and perfected, we can't emphasize enough how much we appreciate you staying with us, said Hudson. Especially because the next stage is where things get really exciting. The next stage, it is set to include a series of world events, new story content, and new features to build toward the Cataclysm later this spring. You have to... how can I say this? Where
do you begin?
They obviously, where to begin? Anthem sold very well. There's no doubt about that. Most of it was in the, because of the marketing, and because, let's face it, the game looks cool. Like, the game actually looks great. When you look at it on the periphery and you're not realizing what you're getting into, it shows a pretty face. But just like a pretty face is nothing without the personality and without that. Like, you can have a pretty, a pretty face, and she or he could be, the worst person in the world, And I'm not calling necessarily Anthem the worst game in the world, because, but it is, there are some things that should not have happened. That they're not some things that you could say, we didn't realize this until a million of you were playing, because there were basic things.
And according to some supporters, programming a game like this is very hard. So,
exactly. Programming a game is very hard.
It's very hard.
So you kind of have to expect that things are not going to go 100%.
Correct.
So exactly. All right. I'm not going to continue beating a dead horse here because Anthem is already a dead horse.
Nice. Nintendo, believe it or not, had a little Nindies direct earlier this week.
I hate that term. It goes, but I hate the term Nindies.
I hear you. I don't like it much.
Sounds like something preferred. I don't know.
It was packed with several little titles that are coming to the Switch. A few which kind of burn me up just a little bit, but we'll get to that in a second. Yeah. First one, and probably the most major one, Cuphead is coming to Switch, guys.
Yes.
That is very interesting.
That is. Hell freezing over.
Plays right in line with a prediction about what's going on over there. We'll see what happens. They showed off with a game called Overland. Then another one which I've been really wanting to play, and unfortunately it's coming to Switch first. My Friend Pedro.
Oh.
It's a very cool one. Neo Cab is another one that I wanted to play. Unfortunately, it's not coming to later.
No.
Freaking Nintendo. The Red Lantern, Darkwood, Katana Zero, sir. Let me tell you how awesome that game freaking looks.
Is this a Is this a Revolver Digital joint?
It is.
Oh, of course. It just sounded like in the name and your enthusiasm.
As is my friend Pedro, for the record. But in my defense, NeoCab is not, and that's another one that's been on my list. Rad, which is the newest game from Double Fine. Bloodroots, Creature in the Well, Pine, Nuclear Throne, Swim Sanity, Blaster Master Zero, which is already out right now. Stranger Things 3, the game. And then another surprise, Cadence of Hyrule.
I'm surprised too,
which is a Crypt of the Necrodancer featuring The Legend of Zelda.
Yes. Crypt of the Necrodancer
is a great game.
It's a great game.
It's
really
a freaking
fun.
awesome game.
Yeah.
I actually own that one too. And then Super Crate Box, which who cares about that?
That is to say, do not. This is if you go expecting a Link to the Past, that's not what this is trying to be. This is actually
if you don't know what
rhythm take.
Look up Crypt of the Necrodancer first.
Look at gameplay of that.
Yeah, and that's what you're getting.
Expect.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
and that sounds pretty cool because Crypt of the Necrodancer is actually a really awesome game.
Oh absolutely, really awesome. Absolutely. So that was a nice thing, but I didn't appreciate the way that some of the newsstands were headlining it as, new Zelda game announced.
No.
Yeah, it is, but no, that's on a little clickbaity. I understand what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
So, my turn.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Detroit Become Human, Heavy Rain, and Beyond Two Souls are all coming to PC.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You don't need that now because I already lent you Detroit Become Human. Just play it on your PS4.
No, why would I play it on PS4? I have a PC, bro. I'm gonna double dip.
You didn't even single dip. What are you talking about?
I'm using your logic.
I got you. Yes.
So, Quantum Dreams trilogy of PlayStation exclusives will soon be PlayStation exclusives no more. With Detroit Become Human, Heavy Rain, and Beyond Two Souls all coming to PC as Epic Store exclusives in the near future. Well, great. They're coming out of being exclusive to become exclusive.
To make it exclusive somewhere else.
Yeah. Which, by the way, side note, if I may, I think I find it kind of hilarious, the fact that, PC gamers, and this is the part where even I can't defend the elitism that goes around. When they are like complaining about the fact that the Epic Store is taking away exclusives and putting exclusives on his stores and not making the games are the exclusivity thing being on PC. And I'm not saying that I agree with it.
It's not really that big of a...
But it's not really a big deal when it's the same fucking platform.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I get that. I get that you want all your games, because I did at one point want all my games in one easy-to-use launcher. But let's be real. That hasn't been the reality in a while now. Because EA made its exclusives to Origin, Ubisoft made most of its game exclusive, not all of them, but most of its game exclusive to its launcher. Bethesda is doing the same thing. So having multiple launchers, Blizzard, of course, hello, yes. All the games in their launcher. Having multiple launchers is just a fact of PC gaming. It doesn't matter. It still runs on your PC. It's still the same platform. It's not like you have to buy something else. It's not like you have to buy entrance to play the games on the Epic Store. And I understand why developers are doing this jump. It's because on the Epic Store, the revenue share, the revenue split is a lot more favorable than on Steam. So why would they have any reason to put the game on Steam? Yes, I get it. Steam has it's the biggest, it's the bigger store, right? Mm-hmm. But that also have its cons, right? Because a release is gonna be among a lot of other releases. Whether you can make it exclusive and get a bigger cut, of the purchases on. I think what Epic's doing is calling their bluff. Yeah.
The bluff that Steam has is to say, hey, people are going to come here. They already have their libraries here. It downloads fast. Everything works. You know, we have everything set up and ready to go.
Yeah.
And people are going to come here. So we're not worried about it. And Epic's calling their bluff saying, yeah, here's what what really matters in the end is the game.
Yeah.
And if the game is not at the store, they're just not going to play
Yeah.
it. You know, they're going to go where it is and buy it there. You know, it's that simple.
I don't think your Steam achievements are that important.
Exactly.
That you need to have the game on Steam, because you're not paying attention to that. So and also you guys have to remember, yes, as far as layout and functionality, the Epic Megastore is not there yet. It's not there yet. You know,
but again, in the end, it's the game. The game is what's going to bring the people. And if it's only there, it sucks. All right, I got to have another launcher. I got to have a whole new whatever. I just want the game. In the end, that's what I want. And if I really want it, I'm going to go wherever the hell it is.
Well,
you know what I mean?
You would think, right? But there are people boycotting Metro, not buying Metro because it's not on Steam. Or because it was on Steam and they took it off. Which again, yes, I get that part. I guess it was shitty, but it's not. If you bought the game,
shitty,
if you got the game, you still get it on Steam. If you didn't buy the game, then that's on you.
Yeah,
you
exactly. You should have bought it when you had a chance.
should have bought it when you had a chance. Exactly. So now it's available. And like I was saying, to my point, the Epic Megastore might not be there on functionality, but it's going to be eventually. When Steam came out, bro, when Steam came out, the phrase was "steaming pile of shit."
Yeah,
because that's pretty much what it was. And funnily enough, that I recall, the first third party game that was out for Steam, it was a game that was actually a PlayStation 3 exclusive. It was one of those indie titles. I forget exactly what was the name. I'm gonna try to find out so I can say the name. But that was the first Steam third party game ever. Because before that, it was Half-Life, it was Counter-Strike, it was just
the first party.
It was just Valve games.
Yeah.
But I need to find. I think it's Kung Fu. Was a game PS3 called Kung Fu something?
Yeah, with these weird Kung Fu puppets looking. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yes.
I don't remember. I'm gonna find out the name, but it was Kung Fu something.
Kung Fu Hustle is a movie.
Kung Fu Hustle is a movie? I want to see that movie.
The Kung Fu, PlayStation 3.
First third party game on Steam.
There it is.
It was Ragdoll
Kung Fu, yeah.
Yeah. PlayStation 3 exclusive.
PlayStation 3, quote unquote, exclusive.
I know,
my next piece, guys, Bethesda is actually holding a press conference this year, guys, and it is set for June 9th.
And I cannot wait. Well, I cannot wait in the sense of I'm very excited about Doom Eternal. But also, I cannot wait because of what else is there, and what are the jokes that are you gonna make about Final 76?
And I'm sure they will, and I'm sure
they cannot.
The audience will eat it up.
They can't
because the audience will be their people, meaning not their workers, but it's their fans. Bethesda fan base. So
but they cannot try to get. I mean, that would be the sleaziest thing to do. It's like, we might have had a small,
I bet you they'll show off
mishaps.
I bet you what they'll do is they'll show off the numbers, which, believe it or not, are actually good.
For Final 76?
Yes, that shit
I
sold.
will be... but
it
first,
sold
but
millions, dude. It's like 7 or 8 million units, which I guess...
I gotta find it. Yeah. I gotta find this number because...
it sold millions. It was like the number... It was up there in the number top 5.
Sales data. How many copies sold? 1.4 million digital copies.
Digital copies, okay.
Which is the majority of them, actually. And
that's
copies sold. That's Fallout 4. So Fallout 4 sold 20 million, of course.
Of course.
I look at Fallout sales figures. So it was not millions like
it was
like
millions.
7 million or something.
It was
like
a lot of millions.
No, it barely broke. Evidently, barely broke 2 million. till after. Yeah, bro. It didn't. You
I
are
guess they can't show
overestimating.
no, I mean it was on the sales charts. I'm like, shit, people are freaking buying
It
this.
was, well, just like Anthem.
I wonder if it counts refunds. It's like
all the pre-orders canceled.
2 million were refunded. We can't count those anymore.
Oh no, let me see. I think I got this hard Battlefield. Fallout 76 numbers. Oh, who cares? They're making it.
So they
1.9. Okay, no, this was Battlefield 5 sold 1.9 million, while Fallout 76 as of November capped at 1.4 million.
That's November though. That has to be. All right. Well, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Anyway,
it's not like it's gonna grow.
No, this is true. So they're obviously
sold millions.
If it gets to 2 million,
I get
they can literally say millions if they get to 2 million. They just got to get to the 2 million so they can use the word millions.
Excuse me,
and
sir.
they'll be fine.
How many millions?
Yeah.
Big fucking gun to the face.
Yes. Oh, man, so good. So we'll see. Bethesda Softworks will hold its 5th annual E3 press conference on Sunday, June 9th. The publisher announced this past Monday. This year's Bethesda Showcase will be highlighted by an in-depth look at Doom Eternal, the company said in a blog post. The show will take place in Los Angeles and is set for 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, which will be 8:30 Eastern Time. Bethesda will live stream the showcase on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Mixer, and Facebook Live. They have not announced the venue yet, but as usual, the publisher is inviting fans to the showcase. Quote, fans
yeah.
to the showcase. The tagline this year of the event is Be Together.
Be together.
Yes. Together,
Please.
indeed.
Yes, don't hate us, please. Let's remember Doom Eternal. Please, I beg you. My next piece was a piece that I was super excited to see.
I want to look up that
until reality came
fake
up.
news item that I saw with millions.
The fake is, yeah, go
to
ahead.
look that shit up.
So it was originally reported that Disney might be possibly remapping or ramping back its game division of Lucasfilm Games, with multiple job postings listed on Disney's career site that detail working specifically for Lucasfilm Games, as reported by PC Games N. The roles include producers, art directors, and marketing coordinators to work out of San Francisco, including branch territories in Asia. Job summaries include descriptions such as roles that support visual development and production of multiple licensed titles. Gee, I wonder what those licensed titles could be. As well as job responsibilities, meet with game developers both in person and remotely to ensure product vision and quality benchmarks are met. And then the job posting continues on. But the part that got me very excited is twofold. First, Lucas Game was a publisher responsible to one of the best games, not only in the Star Wars licensed games, but just titles in general. Like they brought us Day of the Tentacle. They brought us Full Throttle. They brought us many games that back in the day it was numerous, and of course it goes without saying, the Star Wars, the best Star Wars games like ever released. I would say X-Wing, TIE Fighter, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, Dark Forces, all those type of games that we knew were being handled by some of the care, obviously because it's part of the licensee, right? So that got me excited. The second thing that got me excited was, yes, finally, Disney is coming to the rescue of the Star Wars license. Take it out of the slimy hands of abusive, slimy hands of EA. And just completely ripping it out of their hands and completely dissolving, that unholy union once and for all. Evidently.
Good job, Disney.
Well,
I mean,
so
too
we
bad
would
for it
think,
taking so long.
But evidently there was an update, and I don't know if this update is more like damage control than anything. But supposedly, since publishing, this news piece, by the way, was published originally by IGN. I mean, PC Games and reported on it, but IGN grabbed and continued with it. Since publishing, IGN has spoken to a representative from Lucasfilm who clarified that Lucasfilm games have existed and helped to ensure games meet Lucasfilm standards ever since the closure of LucasArts. Any job postings for Lucasfilm games are due to Disney wanting to make sure their game scene is staffed appropriately for any Lucasfilm's properties. Disney as a whole is still focused on the third-party license development and are still very committed to working with EA. And that's unfortunately the part where it goes like hope is completely dashed. This is the part where the Darth Vader like pulverizes Alderaan and millions of people, millions of voices scream out and then there's silence.
I think you mean Grand Moff Tarkin.
Oh, our Grand Moff Tarkin, yeah. But you know what? Yeah. They were together.
Yes, of course, of course. My next piece, guys. Octane is Apex Legends' first new character.
Oh, Apex Legends, yes.
Apex Legends is getting a new character, or already has a new character. Developer Respawn Entertainment announced on Monday the character, Apex Legends' first post-launch legend, will be released alongside the game's Season 1 Wild Frontier Pass on March 19th, which has already passed. While Octane's abilities aren't visible on the game site, all right, let's just move to the update because clearly we already know what he can do. Yeah. His tactical ability allows him to move faster than normal, but costs a percentage of his health to activate and only lasts a few seconds. To offset this, Octane's passive ability grants him healing whenever he isn't being shot at, allowing him to slowly gain back the health he has either lost or spent. Octane's ultimate ability is called Launch Pad. He can throw launch pads on the ground that allow anyone to boost into the air. You can even get an early preview of these launch pads by checking out Respawn, which again, it's already available. The cost behind him. According to a tweet from Jay Frechette, community manager at Respawn Entertainment, Octane will be available to unlock for Legends tokens or 750 Apex coins, which is about $7.50. In other words, he works the same way as Caustic and Mirage do. Apex Legend players won't need to purchase the Battle Pass in order to use Octane.
Are you still playing Apex?
I've only played when somebody says, hey, do you want, like if I'm in a group chat and they, hey, do you want to play? Sure, I'll jump on. Which I think total times maybe 4 or 5 times.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
that's like my total. That's it. I don't go back to it. If I'm by myself, I'm playing something else.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, it's kind of thing to me. Although when I play it, I find it superbly fun. Obviously.
Yeah.
And it's a game that I want to support. So like I would not mind buying on that Battle Pass. Just to continue seeing development of it, and every now and then I jump in and play because
I saw you. I'm sorry to Respawn, but that's how a boycott works. So
yeah.
I am boycotting EA, so no money goes to them from me.
All right. Well, will money go towards Capcom from you?
So far, yes.
All right. So
they have been hitting it out of the park.
All right. Well, it looks like a lot of money's went towards Capcom this past few months. Devil May Cry sales passed 2 million in 2 weeks.
Nice.
So it officially has more sales in 2 weeks than Fallout 76 had.
Oh yeah, I did find what I was looking at, and I really did not read that right.
No, I figured you did.
I did not read it right at all.
Yeah,
I apologize for that. I'm going to go and slap myself now.
Devil May Cry has sold more than 2 million units worldwide. Though Capcom has yet officially made an announcement, Devil May Cry director Hideaki Itsuno revealed the milestone during a GDC panel. Iron Galaxy's designer, Isaac Torres, was in attendance and shared a picture of the slide. And there is a picture of a slide on a tweet from Mr. Isaac Torres. At launch, Devil May Cry beat Resident Evil 2 Remake in concurrent numbers of players in Steam, indicating a stronger start on PC. This figure might not appear massive compared to the biggest games today, or even Capcom's on Monster Hunter World, but it's already outpacing all other Devil May Cry games. By comparison, Devil May Cry 4, the best-selling entry so far, currently sits at a respectable 3 million in lifetime sales. This effectively means that Devil May Cry 5 is the fastest-selling entry in the franchise, which is great news for Capcom. Devil May Cry 5 will be supported with free updates, the first of which adds a bloody balance in April. That's what it says, the bloody balance, whatever that is. And of course, I don't need to remind you guys of how great this game is, how great it performs, even in the PC port. It's done very, very well. And if you want to see more of these games from Capcom, which until recently we were wondering, like, oh my God, what the hell is going on with Capcom? Well, actually, it seems like we're doing very, very well.
They were riding the ship.
Also, side note, I'm very excited to see, even though I don't own the game, but I guess at some point, like, I'm waiting for a deal because I already played this game, not to completion, but Monster Hunter World on PC, which now supports proper PC 21:9 and all that stuff that makes Mad Dog roll his eyes because he hates PC gaming and he hates super widescreen monitors.
I don't hate them, sir.
It's getting a high definition patch, which I didn't think it needed because the game looks gorgeous and it runs beautiful. Already, but evidently they're just doing that. They're just releasing a higher, what's it called, a higher texture pack.
Yeah,
so obviously you gotta be careful with those because sometimes those textures can get too big and they can take a lot of memory, on your video card and make your game run slower. There's obviously a performance hit for having bigger textures, but those of you who have powerful enough systems that can run it, test it, and let me know. Let me know if I should be dipping back into Monster Hunter World, on PC.
My last piece, guys. I don't know if you know, but Tim Schafer was hosting the GDC Awards on Wednesday.
No, I did not know that. How's Tim doing?
He's doing great. Doing great, yeah. He says hi, by the way.
Oh, awesome.
He had a special night where evidently the theme of unions kept coming up.
Oh, yes.
Which, honestly...
Unionizing, you mean unionizing?
Yeah,
unionizing
the gaming industry, yeah. Which, considering, what happens in the game industry, we've gone through this before as far as that, as far as what you see people lose their jobs and all this stuff and get burned out.
The abuses.
The
crunch.
Crunch time that really burns out a lot of people.
Yeah.
So he went on stage and he says, quote, "I am not anti-union, but I don't think that we need them," right? Is what he said. And we're all great here in the show. No one here is union, and boom, immediately the lights went out on stage. And he goes, "Oh, right. Except for the lighting crew, I forgot. They're all union." And then the show producers gave him a tiny, nearly inaudible chipmunk voice.
Oh, really?
And then changed the teleprompter so it read union, 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 union. And he says, I hear you. This is a union show. We're better for it. That was not the first or the last of the union, of bringing up the union. At the end of the show, after the developers of God of War had taken the stage to accept the award for Game of the Year, Schafer returned to the stage, his suit covered over with a T-shirt, baseball cap emblazoned with the logo of the union workers who are putting the GDC Awards together.
Yes.
This is the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, Local 16. Obviously the message is starting to get louder.
Yeah.
And eventually, as with all things, change
like,
has to come.
Yeah. I feel like at some point someone's gonna like. It was this might not be directly game related, but what was the union, the voice actors?
Oh yeah, that's it, the Voice Actors Guild or something.
Have it, right. And when they went on strike, basically there was a disruption.
There was.
It was a felt disruption. There was some games, some sequels that didn't have the same people.
Yeah, and no offense to those who filled in certain spots. The quality also dropped.
Yeah, sure.
And obviously these voice actors, this is what they do. This is literally their livelihood. They bring a certain level of quality to your game, and obviously you don't have them. You can easily go back to Jill Sandwich. I mean,
wow.
All right, maybe it wasn't that bad, but you know what I'm saying? It was definitely a little bit of a hit.
Well, and this is, not to get political in nature when it comes to like unions and stuff like that, right? But they're there, for the most part, I'm not unionized because our industry does not have it, unfortunately. But my understanding is, they work to protect the interest of the worker, right? Mm-hmm. So in a case like this, for video games, it's important that we have workers that feel empowered, that feel protected, that feel
correct,
like they
because
not get abused.
You're gonna have less and less people getting into that field, going, no, that's just too much.
Well, and happy workers, they work together. They work better.
Oh yeah, you get a better product. Yeah,
in general, in any industry. So yeah,
I agree.
All right, so real quick, I just have like a couple more things. Anthem is February's best-selling game. Crackdown 3, however, it's not. it's really nowhere to be found on the MPD.
How do you count the sales when you can just get it free on Game Pass?
The data for February's game and hardware sales in the U.S. are in. Just like every month, MPD Group has published reports about the health of their business in the U.S., mostly covering retail and online games, with some digital data taken into account from participating publishers. In February, spending on video games, software and hardware, and game cards amounted to $1 billion, or a 4% increase over the last year. Game software as well as accessories and game cards also growth, but hardware decline. That's understandable, because when you think about it,
we're towards the end of a cycle. So
yeah, exactly. I'm going to skip the part where it gets a little too market talk. But I'm just going to say the software sales generated $457 million in February, a healthy 15% growth. This was expected considering the number of big games released during the month, of course. Anthem was the best-selling game in February, pushing it to be the second best-selling game in 2019 so far. Anthem's launch was also the second biggest in BioWare's history in terms of sales, just behind Mass Effect 3. And then it goes, this was surprising. Jump Force did well at number 2, achieving.
That's not surprising.
The third.
It's not for us, but it's not surprising.
There's a lot surprising for us, but it's not surprising. No, but consider the quality of that game. Like, that game looked really bad. I don't know.
The intermediate cutscenes look bad, but that's not why people go to play the game.
I guess not.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's the same thing. Like when I was saying with Hong Kong Massacre, they were atrocious, bro. I was just like, what the fuck did they do here? But then again, when I realized, oh yeah, I'm just here to shoot shit up. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm having fun.
Yeah. So. But those cutscenes look fucking atrocious. That was a very well way of putting it. So Kingdom Hearts 3 also, remember, rounds up the top 3.
Oh shit, that did come out in the beginning of February.
And that was number 3. That was not number 2. I would have expected it to be number 2. I certainly didn't expect fucking Jump Force to be there.
I guess I can see that. I can see that because Jump Force includes a lot of different I mean, my son and his friends, and dude, when you saw it, right?
Yeah,
they were all into it, and that's that, and he's not a kid, he's 20, and his friends are 21, 22, what I mean? They're young men at this point, you know what I mean? So they're all into that, and I saw that.
That's their G.I. Joe and their Transformers, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Kingdom Hearts, I mean, yes, I probably maybe expected more, but at the same time, that is still kind of a little bit of a need. No, that's just, I mean, if you're not really into it, then you're not into it. You're not suddenly going to get into it at part 3.
If you call Kingdom Hearts 3 niche,
niche. I mean, you know what I mean.
I feel like you should not leave this room because you got to get massacred.
No, you know what I mean, though. I'm just saying it has its following. You know what I mean? And yeah. Right. I don't know. I'm not surprised. That's just what it is. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
I'm surprised. I honestly would have expected that to be the number 1, because even Anthem was all in his marketing, and of course it was a well-anticipated title.
I knew that was going to be number 1.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the way it went. Other notable February releases like Metro Exodus. Remember Metro Exodus? Great.
Again, I forgot that came out.
Yes, you completely forgot about Metro.
I bet that Kingdom Hearts.
Far Cry. How about Far Cry New Dawn? How about that? It was on your radar for 0 seconds.
Not even a little.
So we mentioned. Let me see. Far Cry New Dawn. Red Dead Redemption 2 was number 5. Number 6. Resident Evil 2 Remake. Number 7, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Number 8, Metro Exodus. Number 9, NBA 2K19. And 10, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Crackdown 3, nowhere to be present in the top 20. Or even Xbox One only tops 10. So we can
Crackdown 3 again. It's difficult because I don't think they count the Game Pass subscribers.
I still don't think that this would have. I mean, even with that, it should have at least been Xbox top 10, considering that there's fucking nothing else to play on that system. There's nothing new coming out. Certainly,
I mean, I hear
what's
you.
Sold.
I hear you, and I hear where you're coming from. But again, it's difficult. I mean, because can we agree that Games Pass, probably the majority of Xbox owners have Game Pass?
I'm not sure about that. I
would say the majority.
I wouldn't bet on that.
So
I wouldn't even bet on the majority.
Really?
Yeah.
$10 a month?
I know. It sounds. It should be.
And
right?
They're making money off that service. So I'm like, it has to be coming from some. It has to be from that group.
Interesting to knowing the
subscribers.
Yeah, the subscribers. Or just personalize a little bit more. I'm interested in knowing from Xbox owners in the group who is paying for Game Pass, or you don't have to be an Xbox owner, because I guess you could still have.
I'm going to put a poll up. Say, hey, Xbox, who of the Xbox in the group, who is a Game Pass subscriber?
Who likes the idea? Who actually pays for it? And who doesn't care for it? So it'll be interesting to know. Interesting to know also the fact that Movie Pass. Yes,
Rise from the grave.
You thought we weren't going to mention Movie Pass anymore, huh? Not only Movie Pass.
They don't know how to quit, man. I love it. You got to give it to them.
A limited plan is back. And at the original price.
Oh, my God.
For now.
Of course, for now. Come on now.
There are a few notable restrictions, I would say. Movie Pass, which has hit massive bumps in the road and stiff competition in its quest to invigorate the movie-going audience, is bringing back its unlimited plan. Movie Pass Uncapped provides subscribers with tickets to any 2D movie within the Movie Pass app at any theater. The plan will have its price of $19.99 per month. But anyone willing to pay for a year up front can get a limited time price of $9.95 a month. So, guys, if you give us money in advance, if you trust us that we're gonna be here for a year, we'll let you pay just $9.99 a month.
You know what? I know you laugh.
I said that is $120 up front.
But hey, you're locked in. You're locked in at that rate for the year.
Can we?
That's if they're still there.
Is Movie Pass even locked in?
No, it's not. It's not locked in. That is a sinking ship, guys. That is a sinking ship. I'm just trying to bring the positive, guys.
Yes. You're known for that. You are the devil's advocate, the devil's lawyer.
Yes.
While the plan does remove most of the restriction MoviePass introduced in the last few months, the company website does offer a few qualifications about uncapped. One particularly large qualification could even mean that users are locked out of certain movies depending on how often they use the service. According to the plan's term, MoviePass has the right to limit the selection of movies and or the time available for movies should your individual use adversely impact MoviePass's system-wide capacity or the availability of its service to other subscribers. In other words, we're going to let you use it, but if you use it
too much, and you interfere with the fact that we're losing money, if you make us lose more money, we'll have to make you stop.
Let's remember that the name of this program is called MoviePass Uncapped.
Yes.
Which has a cap.
Yeah, definitely. That's like the unlimited plans. It's like unlimited. Only up to 20 gigs for the month.
Yes. The plan's fine print also specified that MoviePass may use proprietary algorithms and data it collects to impose specific restriction on individual users. Oh. So I could be allowed to use it, but you can't. For example, depending on how you use it.
I can't be devil's advocate on this, dude.
No.
I just can't. It should have remained dead.
It should have let's let the dead die.
Yeah,
please.
The
$9.99 price is significant for MoviePass. It's the same tier the company started offering in late 2017. Oh my God, that was late 2017. That's right. Mm-hmm. Before it exploded in popularity, of course. That price point proved to be unsustainable, really, leading to MoviePass
as was like predicted back then.
Yes, by no money expert, anybody could have actually done that math.
We had a hot topic about it, guys.
Yes. Let's see. That price point proved to be unsustainable, leading to MoviePass to change its offering several times in the following month and send you like 20 emails a day. By the way, it still reminds me of that hilarious college humor of the MoviePass. The MoviePass CEO.
Yeah. That was great.
That YouTube college humor MoviePass and enjoy.
Yes.
Yes. Over the course of 2018, the company has continued to lose money and changed its plans to only allow tickets for a small selection of movies and offer a few tickets a month to users. In the time since MoviePass launched, several competitors have appeared in the subscription movie tickets market. This new uncapped plan replaces MoviePass' previously proposed 2019 plans, which stuck to a three ticket a month limit, with tiers that users could choose from a determined Sorry, let me read that back again. 2019 plans, we stuck to a 3 a month limit, which tiers users could choose from that determine which movies were included and whether IMAX or 3D screens were covered. Instead, those plans, MoviePass appears to only offer the uncapped plan. So that other thing that they were trying to do in 2017 got the axe, got gone. Of course, you're gonna notice we didn't talk about Google's announcement because we're gonna be bringing that back on the hot topic. But I did wanted to close with the news that Suicide Squad is getting a reboot, a mulligan, if you will. James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie is a total reboot, and it's not called Suicide Squad 2. Did you know about this, sir?
Well, I think we mentioned it last week, but I don't know if we had a different name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did we mention that?
I don't know. Throw it out there. I'll remember.
It was 5 days ago, so it couldn't happen.
No. Yeah.
So the movie details has come to light about DC's upcoming Suicide Squad sequel from James Gunn. Producer Peter Safran told Joblo that the sequel is a total reboot, so it shouldn't be referred to as Suicide Squad. The name the studio is using is The Suicide Squad. So they put the on it. That was it.
Warner Brothers, why are you doing this?
Speaking about trying to reviving the dead. So whether or not this is the final name or a working title remains unconfirmed. The quotes from Safran goes, first of all, we don't call it Suicide Squad 2 because it is a total reboot. So it is the Suicide Squad, and I think people should be extremely excited about it. You think so, huh, Gunn? Huh? Or Safran, actually. Gunn, which is, helming Guardian of the Galaxy as a writer and director. Remember, he was recently reinstated. Yeah. That's what we were talking about last week. We'll write and direct Suicide Squad. Regarding the script, Safran said, it's everything you will hope from James Gunn's script, and I think that says a lot, and that promises a lot. And I know that we can deliver it a lot. That was a lot of a lot.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm not going to continue on it, but sir, would you be interested on what...
Not even a little.
Sir, let me finish the question.
Oh, okay.
Sir, would you be interested in watching a Suicide Squad reboot?
No.
Not even a question.
That is so
from James Gunn.
No, I don't
and
care.
Would it be would it be different? Let's see. Would it be
Warner Brothers
different characters?
Is
it's
going to be different characters.
It's definitely
going to be different characters.
So
if it's a reboot, they're going to have completely different characters.
Will they?
So, yeah.
Do they have to? Is that a mandatory?
I mean, they don't have to, but you can't call it a reboot if you're bringing back the people. It's like, how are you rebooting this?
Let's pretend this one never happened.
Oh, God.
This was an alternate
Warner Brothers,
this is the multiverse from
doing?
DC.
No.
It's in that game, that Mortal Kombat game with DC. Injustice 2.
Injustice, yeah.
Yeah, the multiverse. That's what it is.
Dude.
It happened.
It's going to be crap.
If Spider-Man had multiverses,
it's gonna be
why
crap.
DC cannot?
Because Spider-Man did it right. I you know what? I want you. I will pay for it. I will pay for you to see Suicide Squad.
Okay.
I will pay. This is, guys, I'm putting this on the table. I will pay for Dream Twister to watch Suicide Squad. No. And not only is he not going to like it, he would actually give you the money back.
This is how it's predicted.
This is how
I'm going to be like, I'm going to listen with the money. I'm going to be like throwing in face like,
how can you even pay for this?
Like, this was worse than frigging Walk Among Us or whatever that movie was. It follows. Whatever.
You will probably walk out of that going, you know what, this wasn't that bad. And I'll be like, you know what, I guess to episode 152 is as far as we're going with this show.
I would say.
All right, guys, we'll be right back with our Hot Topic.
Did you know, sir, that there is the words out for a sequel to Social Network, The Social Network 2?
Really?
I know, really? Like, or so I thought at first. Mm-hmm. But now that I think about it more, there is a lot of scandal on Facebook all the way to today. To where, yes, there is enough material for actually a trilogy, I would say.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, if you go with how Facebook has, like, taken over,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, and all the areas where they screwed the pooch privacy-wise.
Correct, yes.
And all the scandals with the...
and them trying to make up for it with that ridiculous video.
I don't remember which video, but...
It was a video just to say... Hey, essentially, you know, we screwed
my
up.
Bad.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
We screwed up, but you know, this is the place you share, and it should be about your friends, and blah 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 blah. And
it should be about giving us all your information.
Yeah. Don't stop giving it to us. I mean, you know,
hey, we give it.
We're not selling it to anybody.
We are the product.
We are.
Yes, yeah. This is.
Isn't Google and Facebook somehow linked? No, right? They're two different.
No, they're two different entities. Google is owned by.
They're just partners.
Yeah.
They just
Google is owned by Alphabet, and Facebook is owned by Facebook. I guess. Okay. Yeah.
Welcome back, guys. And it is time for our hot topic.
Hot topic of the week.
Yes. Again, hot
A
topic.
hot one.
Yes, it is. Again, the hot topic is
The future.
okay, no. Oh, our streaming future. thing.
Yeah.
I tell you.
Honestly, I
Guys,
was just gonna call it.
getting old sucks, but
Yeah, no, true. Yeah. That's when you get too old. He's trying to do a podcast as if we're already on the early stages of Alzheimer's. Is not fun.
it's not fun at all.
Yeah. Heaven forbid. But no. But I was just gonna ask you to call it just Stadia. Like that's it. Like that's it. That's enough.
I mean, we could call it
because.
that. But I think it brings a question to streaming.
No,
Game
in
streaming
general,
yeah.
Yeah, but some might say that is it the foot is down or the shoe has dropped?
The shoe has dropped.
The shoe has dropped, and Google has put his foot down in this streaming.
Google has thrown their hat into the
They're
ring.
actually thrown the gauntlet and the shoes. And you want to continue?
They've dropped the Infinity Gauntlet on the gaming industry. And said, "Suck this."
No,
exactly.
That was actually Stadia.
Yeah.
Suck this. Microsoft. the announcement this week.
Did you see the whole thing?
I
did watch it as well.
Yeah.
I watched it because you sent me something and you said, "Hey, go to this time." I was like, "I have already seen it." So
you already seen the
but I
whole
wanted
thing.
to see what you were showcasing. I was like, "Okay, I got you."
Yeah. We're gonna talk about talk about it because, of course, at the beginning and ever since we started talking about streaming and streaming services, we were kind of looking at it dejectedly, like, "Oh yes, sure, whatever." Kind of like the way I see virtual reality.
Yes,
right.
And it's funny you should say that.
Yeah.
To obviously not the same extent.
No.
Okay, so first off, we should really say what the hell Google Stadia is for anyone who doesn't know what that is.
Yeah, let's start.
So we're gonna start from the top.
Yeah,
start from the top. Google Stadia. Google. This I'm bringing off of Polygon for the record. Google finally announced that its much anticipated landing into the game industry is called Stadia. Evidently inspired by the notion of a collective appreciation of gaming skill. The pitch that Google Technologies' advantage will bring players, developers, streamers, and viewers closer together manifested in millions of connections to a global network of data centers. What this means in practice is that I can click on any link, including, of course, a YouTube video link, and by playing playing a video game, no matter how visually intense, within 5 seconds. I can play on my crappy old laptop, my clunky old PC, my cell phone, my tablet, on my internet-connected TV. I can jump between multiple devices where my progress will always be saved. There is no hardware except for the optional controller that connects directly to the servers, rather than any particular device over Wi-Fi. So that, in essence, is what the Stadia is. It was a very impressive showing. What do you think, first off, of the showing that they had? It felt like your normal release press conference.
I will say yes, but with a caveat, which is nowadays I feel like game conference. Like, are you referring to like an E3, or are you a game developers focused?
Correct, like when the Xbox One was first showcased, the PlayStation 4 was first showcased, that hardware showcase,
right.
And then of course they always kind of go into the little bits and pieces of the technology behind it, what's coming, and all that.
Well, because I was going to say I did have an appreciation for how direct and how low. How can I say that? You know that usually when a console is getting introduced and hyped, how low hype in the sense of there's none of this like gamer attitude. Or, yeah, we know gaming, and this is what you like, and look at it was very low key. The message, I felt like it was delivered clearly enough, although there's still a lot of questions about it. And I'm not talking about just the uncertainties, but I'm talking about, hey, the stuff that we kind of want to know, or maybe they're leaving up later for like E3, like, game example, what's coming,
Correct.
But overall, I thought the presentation, like, it made me go from a skeptic to a believer, and what I mean by that is, it's difficult to me now that I've seen and I understand and I have experienced streaming services before, and I understand now what the technology is. It's on today. Not that I know everything about network or anything like that, but I dabbled on it, a little bit, and also understanding that Google is this major presence. We're not talking about just a little company trying to establish some data centers here and there. We're talking about Google, which is freaking everywhere. It made me a believer in the sense of, I'm not saying, I love streaming service, streaming my games. No, a believer in the sense of, oh, wait a minute, this is actually possible. This is actually something real. This is actually and silly to use the term, but a game changer. Kind of like when games went from cartridges, for example, to DVDs, to CDs. Mm-hmm. Yes, CDs had their caveats. It was annoying that now we had to deal with loading times, for example. Sometimes excessive. And even today, some might say.
But it expanded. It expanded what you could put in the game.
Exactly. Which is the same that that I think we could see about this technology. The fact that you have, like I said, Google being this massive, this massive company with databases, with the resources, everywhere. And the power and the commitment to actually make it happen. And when you see the way things work, like, not only just there's no box, there's this controller, and the controller is talking directly to the server. Like, you're not connecting it through your phone, through Bluetooth.
Correct, yeah.
Or through your
it's just TV, it's sending the signal via Wi-Fi.
Sending the signals via Wi-Fi directly, exactly. On a network that is obviously, fiber. I'm not saying you get fiber on your home. It's always gonna depend. It's gonna depend. It's gonna have the limitations of your connection, right? Mm-hmm. But it's not asking for a lot. It's acting what I will say the people that are serious of gaming probably have, as long as they live in an area that
correct
that
because because it's not. Nothing is the only thing that seems to be coming through to you is the image.
Yes.
All the processing is being done over in the servers. And the only thing that's being essentially, let me rephrase that. The only thing that's being beamed or sent is to you is the image. Yeah. And what you're sending is inputs via the controller.
The controller. Yeah. No difference of input that you will enter, like, when you send something on well, maybe not the same 100%, but let's say, for example, when you do a query and you press enter and that query goes to the internet and you get the results immediately, that's imagine that, but fast. Imagine that, but faster at a level that a lot of people are concerned about the latency, right? And rightfully so.
It should be, yeah.
It should be. But did you know that the consoles that we play now, today, they have their own level of latency, and not only that, but the TVs that we use introduce also another level of latencies, depending on what model TV, you're using. And you're used to that, already, So it's not like it's not like Google could not bring something that is very close. Like when the Digital Foundry did some research, some early testing on it, actually, I should say. And they found out that the latency, they were putting it. It was almost very similar, maybe like 10 millis. What's the unit? 0.10 milliseconds more than the latency of the Xbox One X. And people playing the Xbox One X Like you don't generally see them complaining about about the the latency. You're not noticing that because you're not thinking about that. So I think there is a lot of concern, and I trust me, I'm there too about what happens when my internet is not there.
Well, I mean,
for example,
so the one caveat one retort I can say to that is, well, the same thing will happen any other time that you don't have your internet. You're not going to be playing anything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You're not going to be doing anything. You can't even use your phone. You can't use your computer or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? So you're shit out of luck anyway. You'll eventually get it back. One would assume, if you've paid the bill or whatever,
Let's try.
I don't think that's as much as a concern as data caps. Because that is something that can add up through time, and you can either end up being throttled, or you can who knows what the company that the service whatever they do. So that can also obviously impact your gameplay session, the resolution.
That's when Google actually offers their own system, their own internet. Google Fiber or something.
Yeah, we'll once they mention that, we'll open up that champagne bottle. How about that? Yeah. Until they do, they don't actually have. You know what I mean? They have everything else.
Google Fiber exists. It's just not.
It's not everywhere.
It's not on every market.
That's the other thing you mentioned earlier. How this is something that Google is everywhere, or Google can reach everywhere, and in some cases, that's not the case. There are obviously areas that will not benefit from this at all. And it was I posted an interview that what is his name? What was the guy who was on stage? I forgot his name now.
Oh, I'll find it for you. Keep going.
So it was an interview with him, and they were asking him, what do you think about those people who obviously are in rural areas and will not be able to benefit from this?
Was it the CEO?
Nope.
That was the guy that was at the beginning.
No, I'm talking about this other guy. He's been in
Phil Harrison.
Phil Harrison, thank you.
Yeah.
Phil Harrison.
He's been in Xbox.
He's been everywhere. Yeah,
he's been.
he's in all over the place, which honestly lends a certain level of credibility to what we're watching, because he has been everywhere. He has launched several consoles and systems, and
credibility. Forget that. They got Jade Raymond, son. So, that's if you want a credibility.
I'm just saying
it begins and ends with Jade freaking Raymond.
I'm just saying
heading the whatever is it that she's doing is obviously she's super mega talented.
The studio, Stadia Studio or whatever it's called. Yeah. So
Stadia Gaming Entertainment
something
interactive something.
Yeah,
I don't know,
some weird name. So no, I was saying
what does it say about
the interview that he had mentioned. He had asked the guy basically asked, so what you're saying is clearly this is not going to be something available for them immediately. And his answer was pretty much what you would expect, and that is eventually we'll get to them. I mean, it's as with all internet, it will eventually reach where it needs to reach. But his answer was very, very cool in the sense that, well, just because they don't have access to this doesn't mean people aren't making stuff that will So I'm saying people still Netflix still exists, even though they probably can't use it as well. You know what I mean? But they still exist. There's still obviously a huge market for it. So,
yeah, exactly.
So it makes that does make a lot of sense. And that was a very cool way of answering. It's like it will eventually get to them. By the time they get to them, it'll probably, he didn't say this is just me. By the time they get to them, there will probably be version 2 of this. But the point is, it will finally reach out to them.
True.
But again, I think to me, first off, it is when it comes to someone who understands tech and is kind of aware of what's going on in technology now, yes, this is something that they can go, oh, yeah, sure, that makes sense. I can use something like that. That's not a lot of people. That's not the majority of the people. The majority of people will look at the what do you call it? The Wii U. So people understood the Wii, even though literally, I don't know if you remember, but Nintendo went out. Like they had people go out to show off the Wii because they knew this is going to be a difficult concept to them to say. Right. Now, if Google does this, then yes, I can see them doing amazing stuff. But if they don't, it may hinder them a little bit. And that is, they have to go and put Wii's in the hands of people so I can understand this is what you can do. And it's sold ridiculous, right? Wii U, on the other hand, they didn't do that. They really didn't explain exactly what it is. People, you really thought it was just the what is it? The little tablet thing. Yeah. And they're like, nah, I don't need that. And it's like, no, that's actually a new console. So, and obviously they didn't go out and put this into people's hands and stuff like that. And so that's the concern. It's like, yes, you and I know about it. Yes, if it's literally just takes buying a controller, sure, I'll jump on that. But will everybody else know about it? Will it get into their hands so they can see how simple, how easy, how it's everywhere?
I have the answer for that one. Can I? May I? Yeah. All right. So, so I'm glad you mentioned that, because that is that is a point that I feel like if anybody is positioned to be anybody is positioned to be able to deliver that, like the education and all that. And I'm not saying they need to go out or anything like that, but it's Google still. And I mean it in the sense that they don't need to go out and do like campaigns on how to use or anything like that. No. It goes as simple as, hey, you have used YouTube before, right? You know, and if you do, well, guess what? There's this new feature that we introduced. Kind of like when we introduce new features on YouTube and you eventually catch them. Well, there's a new feature where if you press this, if you're looking at a game, and you press this button, you could either go into a demo of it if you want, if you want to play, if it allows you to play, because we still don't know what the marketing is going to be, what the price is going to be for game. But let's suppose the ideal situation will be you see a trailer, the game looks cool, you play a demo. That'll be ideal. Well, press this button. You're instantly playing that, that demo. It's going to show you controls, do this on the screen. You jump in. Just like you said, you don't have to fiddle with a box. There's no box to connect. You don't have to worry about that.
It's on it. It's an app, essentially, is what it is.
Literally, it's an app on your phone, or it could be on your TV already pre-installed. If you have access to Google, or it could be on a tablet, or obviously on your PC.
You know where it's not going to be? And this is just a sidebar. It's not going to be on the Fire Stick.
It is not going to be on the Fire Stick, probably, because Amazon and Google, they're not very friendly. They're not very good friends. You don't even have YouTube on the Fire Stick. So,
you don't.
So, yeah, that's where. But I feel like if... And obviously, if you notice the design of that controller, what does that controller look like?
Looks like a freaking...
Go ahead.
The Pro controller.
Actually, even better. It looks like the DualShock controller in a sense, because you notice how the layout of the controller of the sticks.
I have to look at it again.
If you look at the controller, the layout of the sticks are not the typical, the ones. The correct ones, the ones that Xbox
clearly Google disagrees.
And Nintendo, put for the Pro controller is actually the one for the PS4. That look of the PS4, and it's logical. It is the most popular console. Right now.
Makes sense,
So it makes sense that they will go with that. With that design, with that look, having the sticks there, and if you're a gamer, you know how to use a gamepad. At least know how to hold it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't think it's a situation where it's going to be difficult for a new person to get involved in, it, because the level of entry is the barrier of entry is so low that basically it's almost disappeared. There's almost none, which is the scary portion, that scary, wonderful portion, that I don't have to have a second job to buy the next generation console. I don't have to spend $599 or whatever it ends up costing. No, I could literally play games at a resolution and a graphical fidelity that exceed anything that a current console and possibly a next generation console could deliver, because the power is not there. The power is not here. The power is all on Google servers. You see?
So that's where the next concern will come in. It's like, okay, so I do know they did do some testing. They did. I I'm trying to think how they did it, but basically there was an early sign on if you wanted to test the Google Stream service,
the Project Stream.
Project Stream, thank you, and apparently that was very
They
successful.
they give you a game for free to try.
Correct. Yeah.
You know,
And-
gave you because remember it's the streaming version.
Yeah.
You don't
actually own it. Yes. That's another topic that I was going to get to.
Well,
in a
we're gonna
second.
get to that one. Please bring it later because
Yes.
I also have something to say about that.
So, but yeah, so this and apparently was very successful. So one would assume that I don't know how many people they opened this up to as far as that testing ground.
It was a few, yeah.
It was
I mean,
was it a few million or
no,
just
no,
couple?
no, no, no. It
Yeah,
was
so-
it was nothing like that. It was
Correct.
obviously it was
so obviously this is going to have its growing pains,
Right.
Because once if it takes off the way they want it to take off, which I think at a low buy-in price, I don't see why it wouldn't. If it does take off that way, who knows? Who knows what the what I'm saying? The load of people. Yes, so it's not processing in my living room; it's processing over there. But if everyone's accessing over there, and you're not 100% ready for the volume that comes in, obviously, like with any launch of any system or online whatever, can run into those problems. And of course, that does steer away some people going, this is probably not whatever. However, the buying is so low that it's like, well, maybe it'll eventually get better, right? You know what I mean? So,
also, let me ask you, when was the last time that Google was down?
that Google was down?
Yeah. Or
I have no
YouTube
idea.
was down.
I don't know.
It has happened.
Yeah, I know.
It is
I don't know. What that,
super rare. But it has happened.
I mean, I don't think it would go down. I didn't
No,
think it was
in
gonna
the-
shut. Yeah,
in the sense-
yeah.
because-
No, I'm talking about the study. I don't think it would
Right.
go down. But,
But with the volume, with an influx of, because I know the concern. What if I go and the promise of, which we haven't even talked about, the promise of no loading times, no waiting for patches or anything like that.
Yeah.
I come in and sit down because I have 30 minutes to play, and there is a 367 player queue that I had to sit down for the next blade to become available. Blades being the servers, that are available, because allegedly every player will have access to a not literally like a single blade, but the processing power is going to be distributed properly. But
Correct.
what I'm trying to say is like it is still a finite power. At some point, you're going to run out of you could run out of servers, and that's when you enter into queues. Like I used to remember the queues for World of Warcraft back in the day when it was super famous, and I had to wait like 20 minutes to get into a game. I feel like you don't see that a lot anymore.
Not much
But what I'm
longer.
trying to say is obviously I expect. Yeah, I expect. I don't think it's gonna be like obviously perfect. The launch or anything like that.
You
But I
can't
do-
expect that.
No,
That's, yeah.
no, I do expect them to have their growing pains, but at the same time, I do expect it to have a quick recovery because they have the resources. Not to say Google is God, but Google is godlike as far as the resources that they can pull. And remember, we're talking about a company that right now is like handling super mega computers that are doing like simulations for like automatic, for vehicles that drive automatically, for space, things,
Exploration, yeah.
for DNA stuff. It's like I couldn't even begin to tell you. The power is there, already. That's why when you hear about a company bringing a streaming service and you hear Microsoft, you think, oh yeah, they can probably pull it off. I mean, they're a software company. When you hear back in the day OnLive, hey, say what you will, OnLive had it was not perfect, but it was playable. It worked. It wouldn't have been tailored to the twitchy titles of today, but it was playing. It was for what you were paying for, what you were getting. It was possible. I tried it, and I played a couple games on it. And it was okay, and that was, we're talking about what, 2011, maybe 10, 9, 2009. It was over a decade, I would say, if I had to guess. with the technology now, and with a company like the resources that Google has, I can see them servicing all those players, all that influx. Because nobody, it's not like everybody in the world is a gamer, right?
No, yeah, definitely.
So there's
it is a smaller market.
It's still a smaller,
yeah.
right.
Compared to those
compared
that
to
access
YouTube,
Google
compared
and
to Google,
YouTube, yeah,
all the Google services and
It's
Gmail
much
and all
smaller,
and all like that. Yeah, gamer. We're thinking like, oh my god, this is gonna like destroy. Once all the gamers are, no, we are a drop in the bucket when it comes to everything. Gamers are. So when you hear Google managing this, I really believe they can make it happen. It's definitely something that it's exciting. Now, let's talk about some of the concerns, because we already know, like, we're not going to regurgitate everything that come in the presentation. Yes, it's awesome that you have a feature where I could be playing a game on my computer, and then from there I can just jump to another device and pick up right where I left off.
Yep.
If I get stuck somewhere, I can just ask, and immediately I'll get presented a YouTube video. I can save my game state and have someone, or a streamer can save their game state and ask you to pick it up and try to be like the example that was given was, imagine if suddenly you could be placed on the same situation that Daigo was placed on the Street Fighter Championship.
Street Fighter, yeah.
When he had to do the parry, and now it's you had to do the parry, and try to, like, imagine placing yourself in those, like, amazing scenarios, right? Mm-hmm. So that is cool, and yes, it's cool that you can have split screen, for example, but every player has their own quote unquote system. All those things are nice. How do you feel about the game ownership portion of it? Like, obviously, you're not gonna get physical games because that defeats the whole purpose.
You're not gonna get. You're not even gonna download it.
You're not even gonna
be
download
on
it.
your end.
Oh, that's another thing. Another benefit. Yes, they touted the benefit of you don't have to worry about your game getting, patching your games. I will go the extra mile and say you don't even have to worry about the fact of updating your drivers, or in the console, or in console speak. In console speak, don't have to worry about updating your firmware. Tell me those benefits on top of all the other ones that I'm forgetting, which you probably have on the list there. Does not sound like something exciting. Does not like, oh, this is shit. This is actually the next generation, of gaming.
So, to me personally, I'm not 100% convinced that this is the next generation. I know that this is a major leap, and I definitely, it would be foolish to not acknowledge what this technology is going to bring to the gaming industry. It would be foolish to think that, oh, this is not going to do anything. No. Is it as small as, let's say, virtual VR? No, I don't think it's going to be as small as that. It's going to be as big as how much this console generation we're currently in sold. No, I don't think it's going to be that big either. I think maybe eventually. I think maybe a good way down the road. I think it will probably reach to that point. As far as the ownership that you were mentioning, there's something to be said about saying, even when you technically don't have a physical thing in hand, knowing that you have it there in your system that you can possibly play at any point, regardless of your internet connection. There is something to be said of the how should I say, peace of mind that there is behind that.
What if I told you that peace of mind is a lie? What if I told you?
Okay, yes, tell me how it's a lie.
So all the games that you own digitally, what happens when you no longer have the internet for a while? Let's say those games for preservation purposes. You're thinking the preservation purposes. If the servers are not there to validate your ownership of those games, you don't own those games. You don't have them. You can have hardware full of data that will not work without
don't get
the
me
internet.
wrong. Yes, so I see what you're saying.
No, without the server.
Without the server confirming that you are the owner, even if it's downloaded to your system, you're not going to be able to access it because it can't confirm you actually own it.
Right.
So no, I get that and I understand that. However, let's go with most of the time, it does validate it.
Right.
And
true.
to the to the common gamer, they're going to go, yeah, I own this. I own it because it's in there, and that's honestly for the common gamer, that's good enough. But you know what I mean? That's perfectly good enough to me to say I own this. It belongs to me. It's on my side. And then when you throw on top of that the ones who actually have a physical copy, which again, yes, it still applies to the physical copy of it as well.
I feel like that's just you. That's just you and I and our generation. This new generation does not give a shit about that.
You're probably right
because they don't know
but
about
that generation hasn't overlapped ours just yet.
Yeah,
but they are going to. Don't get me wrong. Yes, they are going to.
I might argue that they have.
Sure.
When you see Fortnite is the highest.
You're right. I would just point back to I would just have to point back just to the one backlash that. Don't get me wrong. It's a different scenario, and I get it, but. The Xbox One announcement, whatever, with the TV, and all the craziness about how you share games and whatever, that has such a lasting effect on Microsoft. They are still paying for it till now. So, not to say that this obviously the difference there is that was an established system that didn't work that way in the prior generation. Stadia is completely new, so it doesn't have a background to say, oh, we were a box and now we're going boxless. You know what I mean? So obviously that's a little bit different there, but there is still a little bit of a stigma when it comes to a little bit. And yes, less and less every day. I will definitely agree with that. And yes, more and more younger people are getting older and they're like, hey, it is what it is. I'll just stream it. And let's be real. When you're finished playing, do you really go back to the game? That's what I'm saying. I mean, I get that. But there is still this little, and yes, I get it. That's eventually going to go away. But what I'm trying to say is the reason why I say that it's going to take a little bit is just it's going to take a little bit down the road for people to come in and accept it. Yep, this is just the way gaming is now. And it will happen. I am 100% positive that this is what we're going to be dealing with going forward. But I don't think there's no actual release date yet, as far as Phil Harrison mentioned. But there is more information coming in June regarding about it. But let's say, just for shits and giggles, it comes out this fall. I don't think it's going to suddenly do switch numbers immediately. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to do well. Oh, excuse me.
I think you might have committed a fatal flaw right there.
Okay. Yeah.
You said it's not gonna do no. You say it's not gonna make let's say switch numbers.
Yeah.
You seem to forget that they don't have to. It's not they're not sending you.
Yeah. They're sending you the controller. I know. I get you.
You don't even need the controller. The controller is an accessory.
Correct.
Yeah, but you don't need it. All they need to offer is a game store. It's a game store stocked with some titles,
with all
and it shouldn't be difficult.
It should not be difficult
because there are. I mean, there
let's hope
PC versions basically.
Correct, and let's hope everything's compatible the way it should be compatible. It should not be difficult.
Right.
It should not be difficult.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's going to be easy.
No, well,
it's going to be immediately. Oh, I get it. Yeah. Oh, I get it.
But in the sense of, I need to save, $300 to buy the lowest selling box versus, I just need to click this button and I'm immediately playing in 5 seconds. It's obviously a lot easier.
Oh no! I'm not. Yeah. But you're only playing on. Okay, so you're a PC guy, so you obviously can just pick up the
keyboard and mouse,
and just play it. That's not the case for everybody, and it's not going to be an easy. Oh, how am I playing this? Oh, I can get this over here. I can hook this up.
It'll have to be.
Oh, I need that controller.
Yeah.
I may not need a controller, but the immediate thought is, oh, I need their controller. You're saying,
yeah.
So the delivery of
you're gonna probably want it if you want to play on different.
Correct.
Things.
The delivery of the message is where it's going to be important that it gets out to that the accessibility and how you access the game gets out to those people to say, hey. all you need is a controller. Or technically, if you already have one somewhere, you can use that one.
Right.
It has to be known. It has to be easily done. There is something to be said about creatures.
If only there was a search engine that I could look that information.
True. You're right. How often do people actually, you and I use it all the time. How often do people go, I don't know how to do this? Google the shit. Google it. Because it's like, dude, I can look it up. Here, look, this is how you do it. See? It's right there.
Yeah.
In seconds, I have the answer. That's not the answer. That's not as ridiculous as it sounds, not that simple for you to figure that out. People are creatures of habit. And the habit is, you have a box, you have a controller. That's how I get my games. Yes, it will eventually get to the point where I get it. We don't need the box anymore. I get it. We have a controller. It's universal. I can use it on this computer right here, on my phone, on a tablet, on some piece of shit laptop from 10 years ago.
Literally.
Yeah. Yes, they will eventually get that. That's the deal. But
I don't think it's going to be difficult to express that to deliver that message, though. I don't think all it takes is just word of mouth. Is usually the fastest wildfire, that spreads. And once you start hearing people talking about, holy shit, did you see how fucking Doom Eternal, the twitchiest, fastest, game, it's gonna be on it in the Stadia.
Yeah, it'll be on there. It's great to see that. It's great to see that they have that.
You know that if they have the cockiness to say that, it's because they know it's gonna work.
I agree, sir, that they are cocky enough to say it's going to work. But as with anything, and I think you and I have been literally in this for a while, it all remains to be seen. We have to be able to see and play it and go, okay, I see. Even if, and that's the other thing, even if it's not that when you first try it, you will know, okay, it's okay. They will get there. You will know. And you will also know. It's a
cool idea.
Yeah, you will also know, man, they were way off. But you still, you literally have to have hands on and do it and see. And that's the only way we're going to know. Yeah. And it's still unknown. And like I said, dude, if this console generation has taught us anything, is that people are like, oh, console's dead, console's, whatever, and we're moving on to whatever. And yet here we are in one of the highest selling console generations. Why? Because people are creatures of habit. And that's just whatever it is, this is what I know. And, all that other wacky shit, I will leave that to my kid. You know what I mean? He'll figure that shit out. And eventually, yes, the kid will get old and they'll figure it out, Yeah. But we're in that transition period, which is exciting. And I agree with that. It is very exciting. I just don't think it's going to catch like wildfire, like some of these articles that I've been reading. I'm like, I mean, yes, it's exciting. I just don't know if it's gonna get far.
Think about again. You have to remember there is no barrier of entry.
No.
The moment you discover on whatever device it is,
that is the most freaking out part that you'll have to get across. Yeah. It's like, what do you mean? What am I pointing at? You're holding on to the controller. You're like, where am I going? You don't have to do anything. You're already there. Just look at the screen. Just press buttons. And they're still going, what am I doing?
No, you gotta keep, I mean, if they're gamers, they should be a little smart to figure it out.
Gamers should figure it out. I agree. Yeah. I still think that yes, gamers should be able to figure that out.
Will be able to
I get that. Yeah. Gamers should figure that out. But don't take this anyway. I am not putting it down. I'm not saying that it's not going to work. I'm not saying that Google is making the huge mistake. I'm not saying that. This will take off, just the way I said with VR. Although VR obviously is much lower, but saying VR, it's like no, it's not dead. It's just this tiny. The line is just kind of little going up, and it's very slow. Yeah, in a year it's going up. Oh, hey, they sold a little bit more. Oh, good. It's on the up. It's always going up. It's just very, this obviously is not going to be that. I think it's going to be significantly better than obviously that. But my point is to say it's still that weird. That's all I can say. Really, it's just that weird thing. It's like it's different, and like it or not, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, those are household names. Those are names that people know.
All it takes. And remember, you have to remember, Xbox was not a household name when it came out with something new, and nobody believed that a freaking the company that brings in Microsoft Word and Excel and Office and all that crap was gonna do anything on the gaming market.
True. And the Xbox and the very first Xbox.
It was not a disaster because otherwise there wouldn't be 360.
No.
It did what it needed to do.
It was a disaster.
It accomplished its mission.
Yeah.
It was not meant to be the first game, the first console.
No, not at all.
It accomplished its mission, which is to establish a name.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What does that mean? That means the next 2.0 Stadia maybe where it's at.
But no, because there doesn't need to be a Stadia 2.0.
I get it. You know what I mean, though. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. The next... There's going to be a time frame. They're going to say, "Hey, this is phase 1."
Tell me, can you
of Stadia? You know what I mean?
Can you physically divide the stages of YouTube? Can you tell when YouTube have come from version 1.0? And obviously, the YouTube we have today is not the same one they had. It's very different.
Just the look, how it's changed along.
Exactly. But that's the beauty, right?
Yeah.
It is a gradual upgrade.
Correct. I get that.
You know that happens on it,
and
you have to give credit to gamers.
You'll have like several updates by the time it's literally taking off.
Now we're watching literally 4K video, on YouTube when we didn't think, like, let's say 10 years ago, 1080p was almost impossible to think. It's like, I don't have the bandwidth for that.
No.
1080p was the high def back in the day, right? Mm-hmm. And now it's like nothing. Now it's being treated like
already on 8K, yeah.
Exactly. And they're saying,
I get that.
They're already saying,
but it's always a small thing before it becomes this huge thing.
Oh,
and
obviously.
Right now that's all I'm trying to say.
No. But
we are at that beginning.
But you could be
pebble that drops into the water,
right,
and it starts to ripple.
But you could be the small thing that became the big thing. Like
overnight,
well, like an iPhone. Like when iPhone came out, it sold huge.
Obviously, are we saying that Stadia is going to be there?
No, I'm not saying.
That's all I'm saying.
No. But I'm not saying. Obviously, overnight. Come on, what system is going to be overnight that is not already established?
That's what I'm saying.
But it's gonna like next
all
year.
I'm trying to say that it's not going to like suddenly do ridiculous. I don't know, revenue, however the hell they're measuring it, basically.
Again, with absolutely, let's say, for example, the next generation comes in. I don't have the money to afford the next generation. Let's say, for example,
But you can just.
But I can just play it here.
I can afford that game,
and I can buy it, and it's on my account. It's digital. I own it, because it's digital. It's there.
Own it.
That's the same. That is the exact same thing as when we buy digital on PSN. It's the exact same thing.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm agreeing with you. So, I'm just saying when we say own, we should.
I know. But you're saying,
quotes.
Yeah. So in that case. Now I get to play the game that everybody else is playing on their Xbox 720 and the PlayStation 5, and I did not pay a dime.
Nice.
I did not pay a penny to be able to get competitive with you. The only difference is that while you're playing your game at the limited frame rate that you're having because it's a console or because your PC you can't afford a higher end video card or whatever. This kid is playing it here for the same amount of money price on the highest setting, on the smoothest frame rate, and the only difference is that the game is being streamed. But he has literally the most powerful console and PC ever because he's using the Google system. If that is not enticing, if you don't think that's gonna make people go like, oh shit, maybe we should be looking at this more seriously, then why is Microsoft going into that? Why are they going? Why they're betting their bet? They're betting their bet. They're hedging their bets into that. I don't even think. Excuse me. I don't even think that Microsoft's idea is let's make a more powerful console. They obviously showed that it didn't work.
Doesn't mean anything. It's the games. Yeah.
Right. So
and the access and that.
Right, and I'm glad you mentioned that because Stadia will have to show that it has, that it has the stable of games, and yes, it's going to have its original titles. Yes, it's going to have third party support, or at least a few companies. This just released this week, and a few companies have already expressed the interest in developing and all that because of the benefits. No piracy. You don't have to. That completely eliminates the need for them to have to spend resources on developing anti-piracy things. That's gone. You don't have to worry about that. B, no distribution. They don't even have to worry about the game stops or anything like that anymore because fuck it, we don't need you. Everybody owns a PC, a TV, a phone, a tablet. So they don't even have to worry about that. This is like God sent to them. And that's the scary part. It is people, I don't think a lot of people is realizing the potential
exactly
to
how you said
destroy everything else.
Exactly how you said it. It is scary and scary that people just don't jump on it because this is no. There is a level of intrepidation behind that.
That's fine, but that's like being scary of playing Apex because you're a Fortnite player, and then eventually you realize that the game's good, and then you jump in.
It's the same game.
It's the same game.
You just don't build nothing.
Yeah. So my point is that it's not. We should stop trying to see it as this difficult. I don't think Google is in a difficult position. If anything, they're positioned right where they need to be. They already have. We are already slaves to their ecosystem almost. I mean, you're using an Android. I'm using Gmail, and it's not like I heard the concern of, well, this is giving too much power to Google, and I'm like, really? Have you noticed all the information that you're already given to Google? Do you think Google cares about some games that you're playing when they actually have access to know exactly where you're standing in the planet?
It's funny you should mention that. There is a certain there's a certain, not almost a concern, but we all know that a lot of what Google brings to the table already includes a lot of information gathering,
right?
You know what I mean?
Course.
And so that's
just
going to happen. That's just the way
is absolutely.
They are an information company, and that's all.
This is how they say. Well, you didn't have to buy the console. See, you are subsidizing it with your life. With everything,
Again,
but again,
that can freak
you're
people
not sharing.
out,
But you're not sharing information. Yeah, but the education is gonna be there. You're already sharing that information. If you touch a phone,
I'm not saying you're not. I'm not disagreeing with you on any of those points because that's obviously the case.
Yeah.
But again, it doesn't mean people.
They're gonna be a skeptic, and of course, in the group. There's going to be tons of people that are going to be saying like, fuck Stadia. It makes no sense. Never. You will never see me. Dude, those are the same people that I would wish I could make a list because those are the same people that, this thing becomes, successful and they realizing that they no longer have to get a console or or fucking update a video card for like $1,200 or whatever the hell it's calling. It's selling now. Those are the first people that are going to be like, oh, you know what? I might actually have to do this. This is actually enticing. This is actually interesting. Pending, of course, as always, that this goes, well. It doesn't need to go flawless.
No.
It just needs to go
nothing
well
is flawless.
enough.
Yeah, nothing is going to go flawless. And to expect this to go flawless, expect any of them to go flawless,
right?
Is you're setting your own self up for disappointment.
Yeah.
So I do have a quick comment on the on our Instagram regarding the hot topic. I just wanted to kind of quickly go. It is from Slim Merc 631. The fact that they claim to be more powerful than Xbox and PlayStation is a marker I believe they are not ready to push, especially in the console market. Google has lifetimes to pass before becoming better than two players, not only in the game. Than the two players, not only in the game, but two that built the game. Okay, I had to fix that there. Yeah. Also, more powerful is something we all seen Xbox try and fail simply because the power is nothing without the games. I just don't currently see or believe Google is as strong as their claim, regardless if they have the money for it. But let's see what you got, Google.
Yeah. Again, you have to let go of the mentality of this is them. This is Google competing in a box stage. There's not a box. There's not a console. They're not entering the console race because they don't have a console. They literally gave you
they're entering the streaming race,
and they're showing you, there is a different way. It turns out you don't need to do that. So that's not in that sense. I don't think it's competing with the console makers. More like competing with like Valve and maybe all the other game stores, because all the other game stores will have to prove now that I guess we're gonna have to show the stream because we are only limiting to those who have the resources to buy a system that can run our games. Whether Google is just letting literally anybody that has a screen play the games. We haven't even talked about the benefit of the computer power of the computer power of those the systems in general could allow advances in AI and player counts on games. Like imagine, and they mentioned it, 1,000 player battle royale.
Battle royale,
like
yes,
they mentioned that, right? Or I'm thinking like okay, sure, more players, whatever. I'm thinking more in the sense of imagine the advances on AI now that you're not bound to the constraints of that console or that PC. You're not bound to the constraints of that. Suddenly you have a whole server farm. What Microsoft tried to do with the power of the cloud, it's like now it's fucking a real thing, a real thing that the infrastructure is already there. It's already in place, So obviously that will have major implications on games, and developers are going to look at that. And remember, developers are always going to want to, try to bring you new experiences. And they're always
bring it to the mass market.
Bring it to as much people as they can, but also try to be as truthful to their vision and try to be as little constrained as possible. That's why they're always giving suggestions to the console makers on what they would like realistically what they would like their consoles to have. Instead of memory, instead of CPU performance, floating point performance, whatever. When you don't have to worry about that, anymore, suddenly you can create wonderful, beautiful, crazy, amazing worlds with AIs that are not limited to the power that don't have the limitation of the processor, because making it too smart will be at the suffering of frame rate because it's using the same CPU. You don't have to worry about that now. Now you literally have games that you will not be able to play. Talk about exclusives. You will have games that you will not be able to play anywhere else because none of your consoles or your PCs are going to be powerful enough to replicate that. And that is exciting. They're not going to open with that. I give you that 100%. They're not going to open with their exclusive game that cannot be run anywhere. But give it a year or so. Let more developers get excited about it and jump in and seeing the revenue. If they do a proper revenue split, but that's something else. If they do the marketing okay,
those are all the little variables that they have to get right.
If
in
they
order
get
for it
that
to be
right,
successful,
then this actually has the power to become the catalyst that I don't want to say free us, because it's not like we were in the yoke of console.
It just changes.
PC,
it
but
literally changes.
It could literally make it to where, to where, again, spending $200 on a console, spending $0 and play the same game, looking and feeling, looking and feeling better if they get the feel right. Because the look, I'm sure they can get, but the feel is important.
The feel is extremely important.
Yeah. So that's why that's the part where I went from skeptical about streaming services, because I kept thinking about them as the OnLive and the Gaikai, the way that those games are not designed for stream. It just so happened that Gaikai and OnLive, they develop a system to allow you to, but it was not designed with that in mind. Mm-hmm. These games are getting tweaked or designed from the ground up to support streaming, which is a whole different thing, because again, you have to account for a certain level of lag, for example, for example, and stuff like that. But if they're designing with that in mind, and this day and age with the computing power and the networking capabilities of it, then it's dude, I am a believer. Then I am a believer, whether I want to accept it or not.
I am a skeptic until I see more. Until I have it in my hands, I can go to some place just to give it a shot and go from there. But it is, like I said,
exciting.
It's very exciting.
Yes,
it's definitely something to look forward to and keep your eye on.
I don't think this is something that because yes, Nintendo and I was gonna say Sega, Nintendo and Microsoft and Sony, they could be all the household names that they that they want to be, or they could have all the the experience. But look at the automotive industry. Tesla came out the other day, and look at it. They can't produce enough, enough cars right now, and they bring in something like it's entirely different and very exciting.
Yeah.
So just because they have the power doesn't mean that they have that's all they need. They still need to innovate. I'm looking forward what Microsoft is going to show at E3. Because unfortunately, we're not going to see anything from Sony as far as hardware wise.
As far as hardware goes, or anything else really, because they'll be doing their own directs.
Yes, exactly.
Evidently. All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of an awesome episode 152, the real 152 of GG's Mouthful podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. As always, like I said, please go to goodgame.tech. Join the conversation there. That is our Facebook group. And then, of course, if you are listening to this on any of the podcast services or YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends, family, and like we always say, share with your enemies. We'll win them over for you. And so this is Mad Dog signing off for this week. Mr. Santos, take us home.
When I was a kid, my friends will have Nike shoes. They will have Reebok pumps. They will have very expensive sneakers. And my mom will buy me Stadia shoes, which were the cheap brand sneakers from Tom McCann or from Payless Shoe Store.
There was this store called Fava. I don't know if anyone listening to me right now, if you know Fava, if you're from New York in any way, that's where only place I've seen them. This was a shoe store that sold very inexpensive shoes, and it was just my mom, my sister, and my mom was on one income, and she was a nurse. Yeah. So we had I don't know if they were Stadia. But
back in the day, there was
it was a shoe, for the record. It was a shoe. You know how the Nikes have the check? This shoe had a cane.
A cane?
Yeah.
There you go.
Just let you know, guys.
Close enough. Close enough. So
humble. What do you call it?
Like an homage?
Yeah. No. It's a humble upcoming.
Yeah. Well,
upbringing.
All this to say that I have not been able to separate the name Stadia from the cheap sneakers that I used to own, and then you Google for that. You couldn't have called it anything else.
So it was forever going to be an old.
To me, it's going to be an old cheap shoe. Yes. Not good enough to be Reebok pump.
Fair enough. All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
GG.